In the heart of the Philippines, where the sun always shines, there's a tale of resilience in the midst of hard times. George and Heidi with courage in their stride, facing down the critics with nothing to hide. Oh, George and Heidi, shining bright. In the face of adversity, they take flight. With every negative comment, they rise above, spreading love and laughter through the power of love. On the streets of Manila, they share their story bold. Through the lens of the camera, their adventures unfold. But amidst the laughter, there's criticism too. Yet George and Heidi, they always stay true. Oh, George and Heidi, shining bright. In the face of adversity, they take flight. With every negative comment, they rise above, spreading love and laughter through the power of love. Oh, oh. Through the ups and Manila, they share their story bold. Through the lens of their camera, their adventures unfold. But amidst the laughter, there's criticism too. Yet George and Heidi, they always stay true. Oh, George and Heidi, shining bright. In the face of adversity, they take flight. With every negative comment, they rise above, spreading love and...
Hey, you see that? Who is that? Who is that?
What was it?
Oh, it's a hater.
Oh, I see.
Hey, you haven't made it until you had all the haters.
Right.
Suckers.
Well, actually, wearing these glasses, I mean, I don't know why,
Hater blockers.
but well, yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, it kind of reminded me of that old. I think it's what's his name, Lil Jon. I was thinking of Lil Jon,
Oh, yeah, when it's.
but okay, it's kind of a long way around it. I was thinking Lil Jon glasses, but for some strange reason, I was thinking of you guys. You haven't heard this in a while. What's up? Remember the Budweiser frogs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's up? Well, Little John's like, hey, ha, hiya. But anyway,
Good morning, everybody. And yes, another live stream. Gonna ride it all the way to the bank. You know, we're gonna buy a new car like Mark Thornton. We're gonna build a house and everything else based on the money we're making on YouTube. So that's sarcasm, babe.
well, new car is a Matchbox car, probably.
Probably.
Actually,
What can we buy for $300?
what?
Right. It's a joke, babe. YouTube money.
Anyway,
But
yeah,
so
Monopoly money, 300 Monopoly money.
we can just
Anyway,
we can just use that. So all right. So based on another vlogger releasing a video, based on the other things that are going on in the comment section and hearing from regular guy himself, we will run this live stream today again. But this time, it looks like the main focus has become the milk tea crime. All right. So, once again, this is what's going on and popular in the YouTube world as far as expats. And it is evidently. Live stream numbers didn't lie about that yesterday. And the milk tea crime. So, that's what we'll be discussing. We'll go back into the age of consent. We will go into a discussion of things that are actually being said about regular guy, but us stating that most people don't see that there's a problem doesn't mean we're for it or against it. We're just going by what the laws are, what is an arrestable offense. And where our opinion has always stood is that um, Just it is what it is. We said from the beginning that he has done some things that look extremely odd, and a lot of people said that it has. My biggest problem was, and I've said it before, was the Muslim girl video where he mentioned her chest and all that. Will he be arrested for that? No, we said that. Will she file a complaint against him? The answer is no. We said possibilities are him putting his own footage out there, which could actually cause others to do the, what we say, the justice,
Mob justice.
mob justice thing. You know, that word's out on the street right now too. Um, and then came into the fact of this milk tea thing. And we did not know regular guy was in the room, but evidently the vlogger did know that he was in the room, or whatever. People knew that he was in the room because we had 400 people in the room yesterday, and we're serious about the sticker thing. That is the quickest way, because StreamYard will show the stickers up at the top, and we can see those instantly to post your comments. And regular guy was given the live stream link, so he was like, "Hey, I'm out of here." But he said that he did enjoy the live stream, and that's the word he's putting out. We pinned that comment. I'm going to take these off because I can see the diamonds around my face there. It's kind of distracting for me.
Shining bright like a diamond.
Like a diamond. And so we have sent him the link again. Okay. So again, we're expecting eventually that he's going to release another video and a statement about what's been going on. So George is very analytical and very straight to the point, as a Filipino, to actually say what he feels. There's been no laws committed. No laws have been broken. No laws, no crime has been committed. Let's put it that way. It isn't an apparent that he actually has, but as far as
I never said that. He did break a law. He didn't buy me a milk tea.
he didn't buy you a milk tea.
No.
All right. Well, he owes you a milk tea if he ever comes to town. So, so yeah. Uh, so I'm sure that will stir the room up. So here's the thing. I say prove it. I say bring the receipts. I say for those that are going around and making statements that he's been turned in and turned into radio stations and all this stuff that's been going around, and the comments coming through our channel and emails, and the lot of positive and then the negatives coming in, we're going to talk about it. It's coming through our channel, so we're going to discuss it. We'll run a live stream every day until the end of the month if that's what it actually takes. Okay. We have covered other live streams. We have covered Mark Thornton. We have covered at some point. We haven't totally gone in on Tim K. We've mentioned him before. We've covered a lot of people. A lot of people. Okay. So again, we usually cover what's actually currently going on. And I will then discuss the most recent one when we had somebody else here that discussed that they've actually discussed. Yeah, you can put that up there.
Oh, thanks so much, Tony.
Thanks,
Appreciate it
Tony.
so
He
much.
said milk tea.
Milk
Look,
tea money.
he bought your milk tea
There you
money.
go. Thanks. I get
Uh,
my milk tea money. That didn't sound right, but okay.
You milking it just like we are. Thank you
Right.
very much.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now that we stopped, me and George talked about this last night. We know several people have been talking about this. And at some point, yeah, what about it? Yeah. Okay, so we'll go from here. I'm just being advised. We're going to hold back on the rest of this then. So, sorry, I'm just going to be honest. I mean, you go into a mute and people are going to wonder what we're, so stirring the milk tea. So, That's where it's at, guys. Regular guy's been invited in again. This whole thing today is based on the milk tea incident and the badges that were worn, and that regular guy lied to us, or that we don't know the ages of people when George was raised here. Yes, George is aware about college students can be a certain age, but
Well,
yeah, you tried to say they were college students, and then people are trying to prove their ages by their badges. And then I say at that point, him offering milk tea is not a crime. Is it a crime?
it could be.
Where's the crime?
Hmm.
Okay, we'll just go through the comments. Yeah. Oh, that looked like regular guy.
Huh?
Is
Where?
that regular guy further down, or is that someone's irregular guy?
No.
I sworn I just seen somebody
No. Where?
right there.
What?
Okay, that's somebody using his account. Okay.
Brian Thompson. That's a very funny pun. Really milking this one.
Mm-hmm.
Chazone says, "Oh, they're gonna ride this till the wheels fall off." There you go.
Yeah.
A says, "What a gossip channel." Be right back. Getting some milk tea. There
What's
you go.
going on, AA?
Hey, Bruce. How you doing, Bruce?
And
Good morning. Good evening.
we're no longer going to defend that. There's been a few lately that have come in and said on our channel during the live streams and otherwise, that's what we are, and we're just going to own it. We've been doing this channel a long time, and everybody's going to have their own view on what this channel is.
Regardless of
So
facts.
it doesn't matter how many times we say it. The
Yeah.
facts are all out there, and we're not going to be apologetic about what vloggers we cover, which ones we don't, because there's been a bunch of people wanted us to cover, and it's like we don't see the story, so we're not going to cover it.
Actually, it's kind of like this. We've been asked, like Heidi says, like,
There's been like 4 of them they want us
go
to
after
cover.
this guy. Well, did we look into it? Yeah, but I'm like,
There's nothing there. The guy's doing everything legal. The divorce is legal.
well,
He
even
runs several corporations. I don't see where or why to even cover him. So we're not going to cover him in any manner.
What I'm saying, even if it is, even if it did, because again, remember, everybody did something at one point in their lives. You know what I'm saying?
That too. So no, it's just everybody's. And at the end of the day, it is our channel, and we feel that you guys are going to watch one way or the other, and just go to another channel and watch, and then bounce back when we're covering the same thing. You want to hear different opinions. You guys want to watch just different situations, and that's fine with us too.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Manny, how you doing, Manny?
what's up, Manny?
Williams Silent Retirement. Hey, guys. Tony Manning. John R. Scotty Boy, the topic for today. Well, somewhat, not really, but sort of.
Actually, I'm not even gonna shy away from that. It is about him.
Well, it is, but it's not at the same time, because remember, most of the stuff we talk about actually applies to everybody, not just Scotty Boy. Thomas Beals. Hey, Thomas Beals, love your intro song. Thank you so much. Thank Music to Motion, Michael. Bruce Davis says Scotty is the topic tonight, today, every day.
Yeah, I'd be really interested in your discussion on him.
Mark Randon says cool glasses. Huh. John R says someone is pimping. He's talking about the glasses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, did we mention about what comments we're going to put up? Bings, there's a group out there.
Now here's the thing.
One that's being held, and we're not going to release it.
Well, first off, we got criticized for being partial on the comments when I put them up or whatever. Here's the thing, and I even said Bruce is with us today. Bruce Davis. Bruce is one of our members. He's a regular. He's been on the panel several times. I even said at one point in time in the live, Bruce, I can't put up your comments, man. The reason being is because it's not because I'm partial to regular guy or the other channel. It's because sometimes the comments go too far. They cuss. They start putting ad hominems, and if that happens, I don't put them up. In fact, there are several comments that goes
Against a few
against
vloggers that
somebody's
are in the room,
sexuality in the room,
and he didn't put that
and I
up.
didn't put that up. And I'm like, okay, I know that you only see what you want to see.
Well, somebody here has the name of the
Right.
bar here, Envy,
But
and they said regular guy is a, and they went
well,
into
that's what I'm saying.
spelling out the
Sexual.
word.
Well, the thing is, most of this sexuality comments aren't against regular guy. But point being is, I didn't put any of those up. But my point is, if you're throwing out ad hominems or cussing out or everything, I'm not gonna put the comments up.
Yeah, we're actually just leaving him in
And
the
not
room,
because
unless
I'm
YouTube holds it.
partial. Yeah, I'm partial to us because it's our channel. We don't want that type of
It's our
behavior.
channel.
You don't have to cuss. You don't have to throw ad hominems to make your point. Nobody does. Anyway,
Yeah, and understand YouTube holds them too. I mean,
well,
they're not going to
actually,
release
for
that.
example, actually, good point. Like Brian says, get Kuya John first swearing. Actually, Kuya John was in our last two lives, and he was very respectful. He did not cuss or anything like that.
Yep.
And again, Kuya John has always been welcome to come to join in the live chat and everything, as long as he doesn't cuss. But again, in the last two times he was on our channel, he didn't cuss, and that's my point. And not because it's me or Heidi. Honestly, a lot of people don't like cussing. It doesn't matter what But point being, anyway.
Hey, PH Expat Prepper. He's in the house. Interesting.
Okay, USA always. We don't know, and honestly, I saw a comment you said earlier. You had this much views because no. First off, Scotty Boy has been in our live before, and honestly,
I missed what he said earlier.
no, it's further down. He says because people thought that Scotty Boy is gonna cam up.
We never
Well,
said that
actually,
or
honestly,
indicated it.
if we had seen him when he was in the room, he probably would have. Let's see.
Nothing indicated he was going to be on here.
Tony Manning, I don't have any milk to put in my tea. Right?
This is about what he's actually done. And for those that are out there saying that he's done something, those are the ones I'm challenging.
Mike Valdez, there's no crime.
A bunch of people are for Scotty. I think there's way more people for Scotty than there is against him. But what will matter at the end of the day is the Philippines government actually doing something about it. That's where I'm at. There's been so much talk out there, and after this whole milk tea thing and trying to prove an age, that doesn't mean anything to us at this point. To me, anyways. Let me speak on my behalf. Proving that the girls are 15 or 16 or 14 or 17, we go by the actual facts. Actually asking the girls, do they want to drink as he walked by, to me is not a crime. So that's my opinion.
Jim Elver calls it the milk tea gate.
Mm.
I
The
haven't heard that in a while.
The fact that we know that most people are actually in it for gossip or clout, or it's strange. This whole room is like all over the place. But when you go on Scotty's channel, it's clear that his people are fine. Then people that go to his channel are now being called certain type of people. And then it's just kind of like all over the place. People come on ours, and most of it has been in the positive that we don't see the problem. You have to look for that problem. Once again, I'll bring that out. It's a witch hunt. That's what today is about, is the witch hunt. Twist and turn if you want to, okay? And like I said, let the stones fall where they actually may. But at this point, this milk tea thing has just gotten out of control in the rest of the videos. Okay, you don't exactly see us running those videos over and over and over and over and over again. We don't. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense to say that that content's out there, but then you run the content or you continue. If it is also true, then that's just contributing to the matter, also, the other channels. I hate to say it, it is. So,
Okay, first off, again, the problem with the witch hunt, again, that's the old adage that goes again.
as always in Salem.
Yeah, if you're out on a witch hunt, you always find a witch. Um, okay, let's go back to more contemporary times. If you're looking for a problem, you'll find a problem. And it doesn't matter. This applies to anything in life, whether it's your own personal life, whether it's work. If you're looking for a problem at work, you'll find a problem. If you find a problem at your own family setting, you'll find a problem. If you're
Hmm.
looking for trouble, you'll find trouble. Point being is,
We're not going, okay. I'll speak for myself because I want you to guys understand is that George can, as you see, he can speak for himself. I actually feel very, very, very strongly that we're not going to sway because 3 or 4 other channels have now gotten on board to join one channel or 2 channels that are out there. Actually, I can think of 3 of them that are specifically in one direction. Others are starting to drop out. We're not going to do that. If we're covering Mark Thornton, for example, we know 100% that he actually is the one that's actually in trouble. Will he go to jail? All of that is an opinion, whether he will, whether he won't, and we're pretty clear on that. But on this one, it's being said this, and that, and then people are being said to go down there and do this and blah, blah, blah. And they're trying to sway us in that direction, or they're actually trying to do other things. And it's not going to change any of our opinions or how we run our live streams, how we go out in public, how things are actually going to go. I I've watched regular guys channel grow. I do have a problem with this channel like I do a bunch of other channels. Okay, but it doesn't mean that we're going to sway with everybody because they think that we're just going to buckle in to join their cause, and it's not going to happen.
okay,
So we're just going to keep, you know,
now I'm speaking for myself at this point. Actually, and the reason why I say I'm speaking for myself, this applies to every subject or topic we say, or I say rather. If I say something, I'm running on probabilities, facts, and my opinion, somewhat, depending. I'll tell you if it's my own opinion. I'll literally go like this.
yeah,
In my own opinion,
right.
that's how
He
I do it.
runs on facts
But I run
mostly,
on facts and probabilities and law.
and me's pretty much
And
adviting.
my life has been based on that. Probabilities and law, which means I base my own moral compass on the letter of the law. Okay. However, even though I mean, of course, I mean, there are some questionable laws. I mean, common sense dictates, although a lot of people don't know common sense or have it. But anyway, point
Hey,
being
Doc M.
is what I'm saying is if I say something, it's based on, for the most part, law side. Okay. And the reason why I said this is because, and probabilities is because if I say, in all probabilities, X guy is not going to get in trouble or X guy is going to get incarcerated. You you'll follow my drift. I'm following according to the law, well depending on the topic, which is here in the Philippines, I'm basing on Philippine law, not US law, not UK law, Philippine law, because this is what this channel about. You guys are interested in coming to the Philippines. I'll be talking about the Philippine law. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, we'll answer the stickers. Fitness Road Mitch, what do you guys think of JLB Fun in the Philippines? We know very little about them. We thought maybe that was part of another group, but we don't have any real opinion about that group. I think they came up in our live stream once. We don't know a whole lot about. Actually, I was wondering if they've been in our room. So no, we don't have anything on that. I think he put up a second one. Is there a
It's just
sec?
it's the same question. Yes.
Oh, it's the same question. Okay.
Yes.
So, and I also, after you said that, there was something that ran through my mind about this whole situation. Oh, and I will speak upon the one channel that keeps sending things to us. And I get it. I really do get it. But at some point, it is the popular opinion that, and it is a popular opinion that certain people are targeted. Now, this one, they want to make an example or go after them like criminally and all of that. And I'm wondering why other people have been covered on other channels. I don't see anything criminally being done. And we're talking about there's probably 5 or 6 channels that have covered Rike and Tim K. And there's been a whole Mogman thing and all these things that go around in a circle, but I don't see anything on that. And also, it was specifically said that they will just be looking for the next thing to cover. Okay. That that is up to each channel, but I'm not going to rally around something that I told you where I would draw the line personally. Do we? I'll mention it here in a little bit. We did get an update on that expat that actually was arrested in Angeles City, and we can tell you some of it, but we'll tell you here in a little bit. We actually talked to her this morning, so the actual spouse.
This is actually related, and
It
even
is
that
related to the subject. Yes.
behind the scenes, I say a lot of stuff which is somewhat redundant because Heidi hears me say things. Okay, this is how Philippines is going to treat this. They're just going to be, and I'll say that later on. But
Mm.
point, you,
They're
it,
linked together.
yeah, it.
Because the guy was arrested on what's being accused, and we have an update on that. So, um, yeah, I would. How far up is that? Because I'm not going to deal with that today. The fact we said that he's doing exactly what we did with the other person, he's doing the same thing right now. So, you see what I mean? A regular
Okay,
fry.
now Steven says, why would a foreigner even take a chance of acting a certain way, even if he doesn't mean anything bad? It would still look bad and get in trouble. Well, here's the thing, Steven. Again, not picking on you. I'm pretty sure you or people that you know of have done something in their eyes is innocent because honestly they had no ill will, and yet you're like, bro, don't do that. You go like, bro, don't do that. Doesn't look good. And odds are he'll be like, what do you mean? That's the point. It's, of course, for the most part, most people don't know. For the most part, people do things and in their eyes is innocent because they don't have no ill will towards it. But in other people's eyes, like, oh, don't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? So no, I'm just answering your question. Like, why would a foreigner even take a chance of doing? It's not that he wouldn't. If he's doing it, he wouldn't know because in to him, it's okay. Um,
Where are you at? So
AJ says, "Where there's smoke, there's fire."
Well, and then there's the comment, if there is no crime, then why would he lie? I honestly don't think there was a
Okay,
crime,
now the
but it was
lie.
creepy. Hashtag
Actually,
Milkgate.
the thing about okay, did he lie? Yes and no, not necessarily. And the reason why I say yes, did he answer the question? Yes. Was it the correct answer? No. Did he lie? Not really. The reason being, first off, you have to, again, I'm not defending regular guy per se. However, again, I do watch the guy, but I don't watch the guy. You know what I'm saying? I watch him
Probably seen about 10 to
like a
15
normal guy,
videos.
like, okay, whatever, cool. Oh, he's awesome. He's traveling around the Philippines, talking to locals, visited a college. Did I mention that he visited a college? So did he visit a college recently? Yes. Did he probably think I was talking about that? Maybe.
And
Now,
that's what he said. He thought we were discussing it.
so guys, you're not him. So what I'm saying is, if you've been to a college and you're like, well, were they college students? Yeah, they were. I was just there.
Right. So
But
George was
but
discussing the college thing yesterday.
right. So that's what I'm saying. And again, I'm not defending him, but remember, you have to put yourself in his shoes. And remember, these vlogs are not in order. They're edited, and they're not really as you guys perceive as now or current or concurrent.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I know, because I'm like, there's a few kind of discrepancies. Um, but point being, again,
And John Weller further down, I will bring this comment up. He said, anybody that's a regular guy, Scotty Boy supporter, he says, anyone who supports regular guy, Scotty Boy is a suspect of the charges. Yeah, we heard that anybody that's on team regular guy or discusses them or seems they're in that direction is also the same. So, okay, that's kind of odd. I would disagree. So I would
now
100% disagree on that. And at one point, they said they were gathering names. Well, go ahead.
now Doc M. Okay,
Hey, Doc M.
I'm not gonna put up your comment, although I will acknowledge half of it. Asking for citizen's arrest, and then he will pay for it. And I'm gonna answer your statement with John R's too, because it coincides. Because none of these vloggers are from the PI, but one that I know tell people the laws and will get them in trouble there. Now, the reason why these are not related to each other, but they are. The reason being is, one, you're not so much as you're not in the Philippines, or I'm not calling anybody out whether they're in the Philippines or not. Is point is, Philippine law operates differently, and I sound like I'm a crazy person when I explain Philippine laws to Heidi, but we're here, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care what other channels say, but this is what's going to happen. Um, and the reason why I said this is, first off, again, I'm not calling Doc M. Okay, I'm saying that citizens arrest. He said somebody's calling out for citizen. Name a person, even by news, without googling it, that has actually succeeded in a citizen's arrest in the U.S.
Or here, I would like to see vloggers approaching somebody. We've seen that
Well,
a few times.
there's no such thing as citizen's arrest here. But in the US, you can't, for the most part, you really can't do that. The only time you can do a citizen's arrest if it's, for example, like, I can't name certain, see, that's the thing. But point being is, unless it's somebody's doing some, you know, mass Xing of people, and then you tackle them and then do that, then you could do a citizen's arrest. But for the most part, you can't do a citizen's arrest in the US. And here it doesn't exist.
Yeah. And that's fine. We've been receiving messages. We're aware several channels have been discussing us and this and more so regular guy, and now we're involved in public display and all of this, and we're not concerned about it whatsoever, and we actually really hard mean that. We're aware, but we're not going to sit around watching those channels all day either. So
Right. Now, actually, here's actually a good one. And May May says he's always alone all the time, and I don't think he doesn't have any interest in a minor. In my perspective, he is alone all the time. He is a lone guy all the time. Now, thank you for bringing that up, because here's the issue: if regular guy is alone with a minor, different story.
that would be the interesting part, along with they're saying there are other people that will come forward, and that's what's being turned in. I would be really interested in seeing how the parents are going to go along with it, or those people are going to go along with it and file those reports. And that we're actually really curious to see what's being said and then actually what's been done. So if it was possibly legal, I would start some sort of bet on this, but we're not going to do that because that's just as bad
Well,
as the
betting
rest
is
of it.
not legal in YouTube.
Well, you got what I'm saying. I'm talking about like a bet between me and you over $1 situation. I'm just saying that it's this this call for action. There are so many other channels, but we don't think those other channels have the guts to actually do it, or I don't think is actually where it's just weird. This is went from, and we're not going to drop out of the topic because others are saying, hey, this is what's going on. It's only intrigued us more to actually cover it. And the more they go the opposite to try to prove that he's breaking the law, the more we realize at this point, we're just going to be totally brutally honest. It's it hasn't. How many people have cropped in on young girls or sitting around giving conversations to young girls about sex and all these things that are actually going on and down in Angel City and all this, and those crimes aren't being taken care of? It's it is what it is. It has become an all out witch hunt for a vlogger that's becoming more and more popular. And all you're doing is pushing his content. All you're and I don't care if we are, because we're not going to go down there and report him for something that others are trying to convince. It's the same as all it just to me it's just nonsense.
Right. And also, speaking of the law, this is also part of the topic too. First off, he's never filmed himself alone with anybody.
Including that prostitution proposition stuff.
Right. That's also the breast video, as they oddly call it. First off, nothing was exposed. Second off, again, even if you show that to a cop, they'll be like, "Well, you know, she's a streetwalker, right?"
And you know that that's just him asking and asking prices. There's
And
lots of other YouTubers that have put that
and
on
on
camera.
that video, again, he was in the restaurant, and they're outside the restaurant. That clearly shows, because he actually panned the camera down. There's a wall between them that you can't see,
They would
but
have
there's a wall between them. Point being is they are the ones that from the outside talk to him
right,
inside.
but that's not an arrestable offense. You can turn it in all you
No, I
want
know
on that.
that.
It's
Well,
up to
I'm just
to
painting the
the
picture for those who didn't see the video. Again, a lot of people don't realize that they're outside talking in,
Hmm.
meaning he did not approach these women.
Right, but does it after we sat there and got off the live yesterday, I started thinking, I'm like, wait a minute. Did there is no proof that he did take those girls home.
Well,
That's the whole point.
that's
You have
also
to actually be caught in the
no,
act
I know
and
that, and
video of
that's
it.
what I'm getting at. Again, is that it's all for show.
Yep.
He's obviously joshing the women. Keyword joshing. I mean, he's kidding around. He wasn't serious on picking them up. He didn't pick them up. He didn't. You can tell he's joking, because he's giving ridiculous statements. I mean, ridiculous, like 100 pesos, whatever. But point being, um, and he is a lone guy all the time. No, the reason why I didn't put down, he's a lone guy all the time, and the reason why I left that comment up is, again, he's doing it for the views. And when she said May, when she said that he's a lone guy all the time, when a vlogger, a single vlogger, alleged single vlogger, I really don't know if he's actually single in real life. I don't know. He could have somebody, but an alleged single vlogger shows videos of him getting shot down by women. That's for show, because a guy who gets shot down by women, if they're serious about it, will edit that out.
Yeah, let's there and we have seen I see some stuff being said that Filipinos and heard that Filipinos have turned in proof of it. Again, that'll be up to the NBI, okay? And that'll be up to
Well,
immigration and the police to handle that. And we've said that way from the get-go. No matter what's being said,
I would say before we go to that, let's go into the laws and then.
okay, that's fine. I'm just
Yeah, no.
yeah. Yeah.
No,
Sorry. Yeah, when you do that, it's the same effect.
Sorry.
That it's just where it is. It's up to the law to do it. Not one YouTuber, not one person, not a few groups of people are actually going to take him down. This is a witch hunt.
Now hold that thought, Bruce. Let's go into age of consent.
It's
Now,
18, period.
it's okay. It's 18, but if you Google it, what number is going to show?
Uh,
16.
right. But there's the 3 year difference and
Okay.
all that. And
Now, for
so
those of you, I mean, it's too. 244 in right now.
But it
Well,
would have nothing to do with
a lot
milk
of
tea and
you
all
again
that.
probably never heard of these clauses because there's clauses to this law. It was 12, and they changed that. The Duterte bill upgraded to 16. Now the difference between when I say Duterte bill, it's just a bill. I mean, as in the bill ratified updates the age to, but did not. The addendum was not. It's there, but it's not. I guess publicized. The clauses weren't reiterated. There's clauses to it. Okay, for instance, it's 16, right? Again, some of you who are new, like, oh yeah, we all know it's 16. Yes, but there's conditions. And the conditions are, again, you have to be within 3 years of age of
Okay.
16.
But where does
Okay.
this apply to the regular guy thing?
Babe, again,
No, I'm just
that's the
asking.
topic. It's age of consent.
No, I know. Well,
Okay. But, okay. I'm just reiterating the law again for those of you again. But it's 16, so it's 16, and then you have the Romeo and Juliet clause. Romeo and Juliet clause, you have to be within 3 year difference. So therefore, if she's 16, the oldest they can be is 20.
okay.
Okay, then there's the other clause. The other clause would be they can't be a person of influence, meaning they can't be a priest, they can't be a teacher, yada 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 yada. So basically, if you're a teacher and then you're a 20-year-old teacher and you're with a 16-year-old, doesn't count on you. That 16-year-old doesn't count.
Right.
They have to be 18. There's so bottom line, there's conditions to it, there's stipulations. It can't be just 16. The end. No.
Right.
Again, for those of the expats there, again, it's 18. It's 18, guys. 18. Okay. Um,
All right. So,
right.
all right. So where I'll add in there is where does this apply to regular guy? And so again, regular guy is allegedly, and by photos we've seen, um, which I did not find on the website itself, but it doesn't matter on that. 18 to 23-year-olds is his target of people he's saying that he's meeting up with. There is, if they are over 18, then he's not breaking any law.
Well, even if they're 18, he's not breaking any law.
Yeah, 18, and
Yeah.
yeah, not breaking a law at that point, because we know there's a lot of guys dating younger women here and marrying younger women.
Right.
Okay, we're with that. The other part would be is asking to buy the boba milk tea. I'm still trying to figure out where the crime is, being that's the biggest topic right now in people's.
And that's again somehow people are stuck on the milk tea incident. First off, do you guys actually time the clip? Like the moment he asked, it's about 5 seconds on that. 5 seconds. It's like,
I mean, we get like real quick. I've never denied when I've seen some of his stuff that I said, "Man, what an asshole." I mean, and you've heard me say that. I was like, "Man, he's being rude." But so am I. So is a bunch of other expats. You just don't see it always on camera, but he's pretty forward with people on being stingy or cheap or whatever he does. Okay, he just happens to put all of his business out there, kind of like what we're doing, like we let you guys know what's going on. But I mean, being an asshole is not a crime. I mean, that is for sure, but all this in between stuff about him with the using his camera to focus in, I still don't get the 3 points, but that's just where I am on that one.
well, and okay, like I said, somehow the milk tea incident, which is very benign, meaning nothing happened, and it's not even a push. I mean, all he says, "Are you sure?" And did say in his subtitles, he says, "When Filipinos say no, sometimes they mean yes." And we're not talking about anything sexual there or sexualized. It's true. It's kind of like the U.S. Would you like this? And most of us will say no, thank you. Although in reality, yeah, I want it, but I'm not gonna say yes. No, thank you. Same thing. Filipinos, they have
There's
a higher.
There's
propensity of saying no even if they want it.
right. I'm just perplexed by this because if we started all this and did the exact same thing, then I would just be a Karen for picking on a vlogger with higher numbers. But when other male expats that are here start on other channels specifically, then these things are okay.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're
It's
Karen
kind
anyway,
of yeah,
according to the chat.
yeah, and that at the end of the day doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that all of a sudden going on one vlogger that's with these crimes, it'll be up to the Philippine government. And now we're hearing throughout here or stories or whatever out there that now the Filipinos are starting and now this is going on. And now we're hearing people are putting rewards out there, and which is really going too far. Again, you create a witch hunt, people are going to make stuff up. This is a country that can be bought. Okay, and that's kind of where I'm at on that. I mean, we already know this has been said out there. Okay, so that's where it goes too far. That's where it's going too far. Rewards for this, rewards for that. Okay.
Yeah. So let's go back into the milk tea incident. And again, I'm not because I'm trying to emphasize the milk tea incident. First off, the milk tea incident. Did anything happen? No. Did he? Did I feel that he meant anything by it? No. He didn't ask him out. He just asked him if he wanted some milk tea. Again, nothing happened.
And I'm a
Regardless,
woman and I didn't
regardless
mind
of
it.
what you think, nothing happened. Regardless of
Their age
how
or
old they
their
are,
badge
nothing
or
happened. Regardless of how old they look, nothing happened. That's the
so
point.
that won't be what
Nothing
he would
happened.
go down for.
Now let's go back to the breast video on Walking Street to make it worse. And the reason why I say to make it worse, because again, in context, in the court of law, that here in the Philippines, I'm not talking about U.S. I'm talking about the Philippines. If you show that footage to a Filipino cop, they were like, they're streetwalkers, right? You know he's in Walking Street, right?
Hillbilly, you said to continue to slander him is illegal, so I'm assuming you're talking about an array of vloggers
No.
and us ourselves.
Hillbilly is against us for some strange reason.
Well, that's fine. They've got to prove it.
Hillbilly is the
And
one that
we are the
called
least
us
channel.
an ad hominem, which is kind of weird because again,
Babe, there's a crap load of trolls, and that's what he is.
well,
Look up the definition of troll, and that's what you've
but
been called.
either way, again, so
And so that's not slander.
right,
So then you're on regular guy's side, and we're not exactly going against regular guy. We've offered him to come on. We've offered to meet up with him in Angel City. We've done a bunch of other things. So it's kind of odd, but slander it will not be. So that is
okay.
true.
So and then let's go back again to the breast video again. So did anything happen? No. Did he take them out? Odds are no, because no, really, not really. He was just joshing them. So did he do anything wrong? No. Sorry.
Propositioning on Walking Street. After we got done with that live, I thought about it and thought about it, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Somebody made a funny comment, and I said,
1 second here.
yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, I mean, I can see that from my side.
Right, you're not going to be able to.
Well, somebody says something here.
Hey, Sarah. Mike said, hey, G&H. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike. How are you doing?
Just scroll down there. Salem, the realtors in the house. Violet. AJ Happ.
Now, some of you said something about you're supporting a child dealer, yada yada, disgusting, yada. Okay.
Where'd you see that?
It's down there.
Okay.
Point being
it's
is,
just been said
regardless
about
of what
anybody.
you think, us saying that, did he break any laws right now? Is that a fact? Did he break any laws right now? No. Is that a fact? Yes, that's a fact. You are innocent until proven guilty, right?
That's where we're
Most
at
of you
on
guys are
this,
from the
because we're not
West.
going to side with the
America,
other.
United Kingdom, Australia. Most of you are from those three countries, major countries. And again, in all three countries, you are innocent until proven guilty.
Mhm.
Guess what? That also includes, you can't call somebody an murderer or a child diddler until they are convicted.
And that's the same with anybody saying that anybody that sides with him is with them, and that makes you one of them. Yeah, when we're convicted of it, you guys let us know. So,
Yeah. Well, and hold on.
and like I said, we're not going to just sway and jump into something strictly based on the numbers. We've been talking about regular guy for quite some time. I want to know, several weeks ago, and we said several weeks ago, we mentioned that video of his, and he's the one that actually came on and talked to us down the road when we offered him to come on. At least he came on to talk to us. We've talked about regular guy on and off, what, the past year or something? When his numbers were under 4,000 and he was a very small channel, he was always going from room to room to room. So he's been in with us on and off. And then all of a sudden, I mean, you guys know where it's at, what time it is, where this all started, and that's fine. I say prove it. I say bring the receipts. I say when it happens, it happens. And even if it does, then we'll say, thank you, Philippines, for convicting, blah, 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 and that you have solid proof. Okay. Because that's when we know it will really happen. And then, and only then will we say, oh, well, then maybe we were 100% wrong. Because before that, I can't see it, George. That's just me being honest about that. Where do we bring in this other guy? Because you can definitely, I mean, that's even if what happened with that guy that got arrested here in Angel City doesn't happen.
Right. But let me finish this because again,
Okay.
I'm just trying to this
Because we have an update on that Angela City
right
guy
now.
arrested
This is
for
part of the topic too. Again,
the
now John
lasciviousness.
Wheeler says again, part of the milk tea incident again. What about asking over and over to see a woman's tata again?
Which one? Are we
It's the same
discussing the
one.
Walking Street one?
It,
It's Walking Street, won't
I
carry
hate to
any
say it
weight.
legally.
And those people know that. They're just trying to put that in a basket. So you have channels that are gaining their numbers and their information and all that based on tearing down other channels. I get it. You'll say we do it. We say we just discuss it also. But again, we're not, I keep repeating that we're not going
Now,
to sway with it. Just because that's out there doesn't, we know that nothing will come of that incident,
yeah.
anyways, and the milk tea one.
And what I'm about to say, or what we're about to say, remember, I keep saying this over and over in most of our live streams. Remember, neither I nor Heidi makes the law.
Mhm.
It's not us. Don't get mad at us if we're telling you the laws or how Philippines runs.
Or the
We're
popular topics that
just telling you
YouTubers put out
how
there.
it is. Trust me, when I explain things to Heidi, like
Every,
Heidi will look at me like that doesn't make sense. I'm like, sorry, that's how it
yeah,
works.
it is.
But on this particular one, and again, Heidi will tell you this is the one you're talking
Okay. So that guy that just got arrested for lasciviousness, we talked to the spouse today. The guy has several children. Okay. How far are we going into this?
about. Well, I wouldn't just say
Just where the end results are.
yeah.
All right. So we know what the acts are. We don't mind discussing it with certain people, but we know what that was about. And the guy was arrested on what appears to be the exact same charges. And the guy's an American. We were correct on who he actually was. And
It's
we
child diddling.
and so the bond was set at 800,000. So that'll tell you that the newspapers are never actually right. They just do the basics. Okay, you can only go by the basics. So he has been released, and there is no intention, and all charges have been dropped, all of them. So dropped. It takes a full prosecution, not a few people, not 50 people, that's going to go into the NBI and immigration and a bunch of Filipinos, and all of a sudden one guy is actually going to drop. If the main people are not willing to sit in court, lawyer up, and actually prosecute him to the fullest hilt here, I doubt it even happens. This guy that is a scumbag was just released over 2 children. One was under the age of 6. As I told you guys before, this 15, 16, and 17-year-old crap does not spike my interest to go do a manhunt on a guy that's all accusations right now.
Correct.
When we had this guy up the street that literally was 9-year-olds were in his bed, where the hell was all of you?
Correct.
And I've said it once and
Right.
I said it again that I've been,
When there's a real crime being committed.
I have been attacked physically at 11 and 14 by adult men, and they were never prosecuted. Okay. It takes a whole team to actually prosecute. And one, there was neighbors out there, and I have a serious scar across my wrist because there was glass on the ground. I was 11 years old. So all this crap of who you guys are hunting down and all this, all of this stuff that's going around is just ridiculous. It'll be up to the law, and I have no faith in the law. And only to that moment that they put the cuffs on him and gets rid of him, I doubt it's any of you. The ones that are running their mouths that he's this and he's that, because I don't think there's solid proof. And don't come up with this 17, 18-year-old crap, or he's offering milk tea and all that. I'm going to call you clowns out once again. That's exactly what you are. We will run on this channel what we actually want to run. We will cover what we want to cover. And there's the haters out there because we're brutally honest, and there are no rules to YouTube.
Well,
Well, I'm sorry, there is a level of YouTube rules.
I hate that thing.
I know, the iPhone. Oh, stop. So, in saying that, we won't be intimidated. We're not going to sway. Okay. Personal people that we thought were friends, that we thought were friends in the YouTube world, I can only think of one at this point. The rest of them, I'm not going to lose even a second of sleep over. But all this crap of serious allegations like that, when I've been through things like that, and I know what women are like at that age and all of that, it comes down to, I want to see that girl, that woman, which is now, as I'm to understand, not even in that age bracket anymore, where she's going to take time to prosecute. And if all of that happened and she was forced against her will at 17 and he outright did whatever, then he would deserve it, if that is all the truth. None of you guys have nothing. And we will continue to cover this because there is a man that is just totally being slammed out there. And I already said that he's a creep. His content, he's an asshole. So that's not enough. So do we. So where's all the manhunts where there's no proof that this is all going on? What I'm trying to say is, like, when we talk about Mark Thornton, the mother effer actually turned around and actually put his own stuff out there that he punched somebody, attacked somebody. I don't give a shit what Dexter did. I don't care what Critter Hunter did. It doesn't make them our friends. There are no friends. There is no friends in the YouTube world. And the moment you all sit up in that room and another room and in another room and another room, eventually everybody starts talking. They report back to the other vloggers. And I'm going to let you know, I don't have to sit up in the rooms to know what's going on. We will continue to run this channel the way we see fit. And this is a manhunt. I told George yesterday, and we had a discussion again this morning. My personal opinion, this is a manhunt. Why didn't you manhunt Tim K? Why didn't you manhunt Mogman when all this stuff was going down? There's all this back and forth with Tim K and Mogman. Where's all the prosecution? Maybe it'll come down the road. Who knows? What about the vloggers that are here for a fact that have done all this stuff? You can say they're with this group or that group or whatever group. It still means what? You don't have the balls? You don't have the A lot of you claim it's not for the money, multiple channels. Oh, I'm sorry that my moral compass didn't do this and that and blah 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 and people got on a fight on air. And I call out, okay, so it's not for money. You just been doing it for clout around Walking Street. You've been doing it for clout on your channel to see what friends you're going to make. You realize how many comments you're not seeing, how sad this is? Okay, sad. Just absolutely sad.
Okay, so now let's go by law. In fact, let's go with the more stricter of the laws, which is US. Let's say this alleged incident, meaning an adult had, you know, intercourse with a 17-year-old in the US.
Uh-huh.
This happened last year. And then they just filed now. Even in the US, they'll look at you like, this happened so long ago.
And you can
We
file.
can't do anything at this stage. You can file, yes, but there really is no case. You probably won't win this one. They'll look at the
They'll
cops will
let you
tell you this.
file. They'll let
The
you
cops
hire an
will, yeah,
attorney. It's a matter of a
the
court.
cops who odds are though. And so those of you who says, "Oh no, they will." Actually, apparently, you guys haven't been actually in real court. I mean, but anyway, um, I know this because I have friends that went through something similar. Point being is they want an R kit, okay, and then they want it in a timely manner. They want, oh yeah, I have lawyer friends too. But point being is, even in the US, if said alleged incident happened a year ago and you file now, even in the US, the DA will be like, there's no case. I'm not going to go after it. Because remember, lawyers want their score. They have a score. They have wins and losses. They have win and lose, kind of like Call of Duty or whatever game you play. There's win and lose score. DA doesn't want a losing battle. Now let's go to the Philippines to make it worse. Guess what? They're gonna tell you have no case here. It's too old. You know what I mean? And now remember, I'm talking about law here. I'm not talking about my opinion. I'm not talking about everything I've said so far is none of it's my opinion. These are all facts. These are law by the book. I didn't make the laws. I'm just telling you how it is. Was there some wrongdoing done in the eyes of the law? No. Is there a case in the eyes of the law? No. Okay. Um. So yeah, that's again. Hate to break it to you guys. I mean,
Right. Andy says he cut the live stream afterwards. So again, where's the big deal? Are you still referring to his incident on Walking Street?
now
You've been down there. You've been at a lot of places down there, quite a bit. So
go
where is the crime in that?
right. Yeah, and going back to the law again, for this to happen too, remember they need the parent with them. They need
According to Andy, which has been all up in the room, he said that he started a year ago.
okay. Well, again,
It took a year,
regardless,
a year ago.
this is why we brought up what Heidi just said, what we found out. We actually spoke with the woman, okay? Again, no charges, case closed.
2, a child under the age of 6 with proof. And they know all of this. And the fact that the woman said, no problem, just let him go. And they
Will
did.
walk away free because again, this is my
Actually,
point.
he already did.
Alleged minor,
The one that was just
right,
in the news.
alleged minor and alleged parent of minor must go and file and follow through the charges. Not just file the charges, they have to follow through all the way to the very end up until the judge decides on what happened. If they don't do that, the case is go.
Which just gave me little to no hope on the justice system here that can be
And
bought, people can be bought. And so a case like that, that just got let go for multiple reasons, I just don't think it's going to happen.
yeah, and I've said this actually before off camera, but now we have confirmation.
Well, same with the 17 or 18-year-old, whatever they got,
Well,
the zooming
that's what I
in, let's get
said.
rid of his channel.
They're
All of this
they're
is still
sorry.
and it's just not one-sided. If he goes down, you guys do realize multiple channels have been
I
after him.
mean, it doesn't mean I don't
So
speak with an accent. I don't know what's
I
going
think it's
on
being
here in the
covered by all the
Philippines.
channels, including yours truly, that it's been about what's popular. And we will continue to cover, but we're going to give you guys a little information on the side. It's a witch hunt.
Right. Well, even if it wasn't, there has to be, again, the parent and the child together and following it through to the very bitter end. If they don't
including
do that, there
including
is
the
no
ones
case.
that the anti-busto situation applies to. Every single person would have to come forward.
Now, if the shoe was on their foot, if you flip the guy going after a regular guy and you flip them all together, trust me, we're going to be saying exact same way. It's because it's not personal. I'm just telling you the law. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at Heidi because it is what it is, and we're telling you
Well, it doesn't
again
matter. We've
by law.
discussed it
Well, what I'm saying
doesn't.
is, you can flip whoever, you can substitute those guys all you want with anybody else.
He
The
can
law
get
doesn't
totally
change.
convicted and deported. It
Well,
doesn't mean that we're going to say, oh,
well, that's what I'm
he was
saying.
right and he was wrong. No,
The law
this is
doesn't
still our opinion.
change. That's
Our
what I mean.
opinion's not going to change.
Well, my opinion is based on law, so that's gonna it will only change when the law changes. But
If you show me photos and tell me that it was blah, 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 then that will change my opinion. A 15, 16, and 17-year-old that he's offering milk tea and proving badges is ridiculous. That's where I'm at on that.
now, on the same note, on the same note, the irony is you can be deported for whatever reason.
That is true
The
also.
Bureau of Immigration officer
Won't take a
decides
whole
to.
lot either.
However, in all fairness to the
They didn't
Philippines,
deport this last guy and
well,
he touched somebody that was under the age of 6.
right. And what I'm saying is,
Didn't touch.
be
It was an
aware
entire
also
act.
that the same exact thing I will say in the US, the Bureau of Immigration officer in the US has the exact same power.
That's
It's
true.
up to the officer standing right there at the gate who gives you a thumbs up or thumbs down for whatever reason they see fit.
That's true.
Nothing to do with the Philippines. All Bureau of Immigration officers have that
I'm
ability.
stirring the
Thumbs up or
pot,
thumbs
and I
down.
want to know why just one person. I didn't say I exactly had the fondest thoughts about regular guy, but I can think of at least a dozen vloggers why they're not. Why one person? Why just Tim K? Why just Rike? Why just Geo? We've heard in the past all this other stuff. There's like a top 8 vloggers that they actually go through, and I actually often wonder on that.
Darren says because regular guy is an easy target.
Yep, the same with our channel. And honestly, the more you guys continue, the more we actually rise above it. And now we're like above that stuff. I would have probably said a year ago, I was super, super, super thin skinned on a lot of things. And it's because it just didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was good, bad, what topic or whatever. You guys were going to hate or love one way or the other. And it's the YouTube game, like I said, is not the easiest, but we won't be run out of it either. So
David Frankie says, "Why? What you just said? Not guilty until proven. Was this guy proven guilty? Why would this guy get the charges dropped? It's because again, whoever filed the charges dropped them.
yep. And you would think they would go forward and still do it because I don't know all I know is if the parents in the US doesn't go through with things, It
The
usually
DA.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I'm still surprised that immigration, being Z is in there for those. We're not talking about touching. All this brushing up against buying, zooming, and all that doesn't mean nothing compared to what this guy just did. And they let him go. They let him go. Okay. And we've said this from the beginning. We said this like the first time we started covering where he did weird stuff and then focused in on the Muslim girl. I said that's something that will get him hurt by a local. But as far as, that would be our biggest concern for him. But there's already people out there stirring that up for him to be hunted down for money and stuff. It's just, you guys, for those that aren't in different types of the conversations or receiving messages in regards to this, it goes deeper and it's out there. They're not hiding it. None of them are hiding it.
Yeah, and also be aware that I understand in the Philippines, freedom of speech is not the same as freedom of speech in the U.S. Okay,
Mhm.
but regardless, it doesn't mean that freedom of speech in the Philippines is not as free as the U.S. What I'm saying is, being an asshole is not against the law.
Nope.
I don't
Or being a
care.
Karen or being
Yeah.
fat or anything else.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what YouTuber you hate.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter who you tend to get in trouble. Them being YouTubers, if they're assholes, it's not against the law. Even in the U.S., it's not against the law. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody says earlier about, well, what about regular guy? He said this. Okay, I get it. I know he
Well, it's the
probably said
same with all
he said a
this.
few things that are wrong. Yes, I agree. But
If that was true, all these bloggers would be
is
locked
it
up.
illegal to say something wrong? No.
And then all this slander. You realize how many times this week we've seen that or we've heard about that in the last couple years? Never again.
Now, I'm not saying I'm condoning this type of behavior because again, we don't allow really cussing in our channel. But what I'm saying is it against the law? It's not against the law to cuss. It's not against the law to be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? I hate. Sorry, guys. You guys know this. I mean, I don't have.
Hmm.
Has regular guy technically broken any laws that we are aware of? I mean, he could have broken some laws. I don't know, but if he
And
didn't
all
show
this
it on
hiding it
camera,
on the side, like I said, trying to prove the littler stuff to us isn't going to matter. For those that know about the bigger information, then okay, we're not privy to all that. And I'm hearing about the 17-year-old that's already 18 or 19 or something. That doesn't carry any water with me. That carries zero water. I mean, zero, 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 right out the window. Because I'm still believing that the girl was aware of stuff. The family might have been. We don't know any of that. But the girl's age doesn't carry nothing. When the Philippines convicts of that, and then he's made to leave, then that'll be on the
well,
Philippine
not to
government. We're
mention,
not.
it's just offering somebody milk tea. And for those of you, well, he kept pushing. Not really. I
I'm
mean,
talking about the 17-year-old. They're all
oh,
claiming,
that one.
multiple channels are
That's
claiming there are other
that was
things that they've got. And
allegedly a
that's
year ago.
fine. We're
Yes.
talking about one or two people. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's still not going to make us sit here and do anything any different. There is currently no crimes, and even if they're proven,
No, there
we'll
isn't.
see if the Philippines does anything and gets rid of them. And how's that going to improve your life?
Yeah.
Where's that going to improve every moment of your life? Because if it does happen, then what? So,
Right. And then some of you will probably, honestly, I know some of you are thinking this like, well, what about him trying to push that milk tea on those girls? Well, you haven't asked anybody, hey, you want a soda? Are you sure? You sure you don't want soda? You look like you want it. By reflex, you do that because for the most part, most people are nice people.
a lot of people report vloggers constantly for multiple reasons, and I don't exactly see them gone. You have to ask yourself why. And I'm at a point now with the comments and the emails coming in and the additional stuff, okay, is where we're at on this. And yeah, we're going to run the lives.
Yeah. And some of these comments are unfounded. I'm not even going to.
I wouldn't leave them totally out if there's no cuss words. Just
Okay. Now, for example, and a lot of you guys who are regulars on the channel will agree with us when I'm going to say this. Eric says, this is the epicenter of the minute. Actually, no.
Well, it will be if that's what you're all up in the room and the other vloggers are up in the room saying things. That's
But
sorry.
well, we're not the epicenter
Nope, definitely
because
not.
we actually don't say any defamatory statements. We're actually really good at not doing that. To be honest with you.
We're going to cover what's actually going on and what people are sending us messages about. And we still have the connection to Scotty. And so, what you guys decide in the end, including putting our name in your mouth about what could happen in public, bite me on that one. I say approach us and say something.
Well,
If
not
you've
to
got something to
mention
say,
whenever we're accused of defamatory statements, it's usually stuff like, "Oh, Mark Thornton punched Dexter." What do you mean? That's not defamatory. He said it on video
correct.
more than once.
I'm
Um,
not really
you know
worried
what I'm
about
saying?
it.
It's like most of the time when we say things, they're facts, not even gossip. They're facts. I mean, we'll put up the videos for you guys, and you guys know what we're talking about. But
Mhm.
anyway,
It's the epicenter because of the people that are in this room and another room and another room and another room. We save all the videos. We have all this stuff. And should anything arise, then we'll go from there with an attorney. So, but this did not, we didn't start the fire. That is for sure. And regular guy is aware. We're in contact with them. So, and okay.
John R., you do realize blogging from there, in a way, you're breaking the law by working without a work visa. Yes, we're aware of that. That's why we are licensed. Just saying. We are. We used to have our paperwork up here. Everybody who's a regular will know that. We took them down because it's kind of got old. And we put up these posters. But anyway, point being,
We're within the law.
yes, we are. And we file our taxes, yada, yada, yada. But anyway,
We are within the law. Just we figure more shade will come down the road. Bring it.
Damien says, RG, regular guy might be a real creep, but without real evidence, you guys are playing a dangerous game that could come back.
Well, I think
Oh,
he's talking to
yeah, I
everybody.
guess he's
Andy's
talking
in the
about
room. A
not
couple of the
talking to us, but
vloggers. Yeah, understand they're all talking in there, and we don't take that against us anymore. We discussed that last night too. A lot of you guys are just talking in general, and we definitely won't apply it to us anymore because this isn't where it started. What was this one about? Do we even know where that? Brian Thompson, the dirt will come out eventually. I'm assuming you're talking about regular guy, and that's fine. That's what we're saying. Bring it, prove it, and then see if he gets deported. And not one moment will I actually say, oh, bad old regular guy. You know, we'll mention if he gets deported and all that because we cover different things going on with expats. But as far as the current crimes he's doing, which is where it is.
well, Bruce, that's a very broad statement. Well, my question is, why do these people upload to YouTube when one guy punch out guy 3 times and another guy record YouTube videos at Long Street? Well, that's a very broad statement. The reasons vary, but like I said, the real issue with the Mark Thorne incident is he posted a video himself
I
confessing to what he did.
Maybe he's just discussing how people are putting out different things.
No,
I
I know.
think it's for a shock factor. I think it's to keep friends. I think it's to stay connected, to look like the bigger guy. They're narcissistic channels. And till this point, only a few people used to pick on one or two channels. And I'm not going to be quiet about it. You guys know that by now. We've been doing this for years. So, I mean, what you guys were just going to keep hiding behind a bunch of stuff of, oh, look at this. And now, like, I've seen some of the most ridiculous stuff here lately, but regardless, regardless of whatever, it's I don't get it. I really don't. Those that claim they don't do it for money. Then there's some that say that they do. Then you got the ones that say, I'm just trying to do this, and that. If the entire channels were just based on doing the manhunts, and here's another question: how come you don't do it on the down low? If this is your main effort, why are you doing it in front of everybody? That's my other question. How we already said why we do our channel and what we've covered, but we're not trying to put anybody in jail. We're just covering expat stuff, hot topics, our own life, all these. I mean, think about it. We asked ourselves that the other day. Why are a bunch of them not just doing it on the down low?
Right.
if it's not about money and all of this? Why not just do it in silence? Because what's being said now is that they're building the case. Okay, build the case, but then how come you're still talking about 90% of it in front of everybody, but you don't bring the receipts for anything else? I now officially say to all channels, bring the receipts on everything.
Now, Ronald Trump, actually, I said this yesterday.
Ronald Trump is, I was thinking that was that blogger. Or is that a different Ronald? No, it's a different Ronald.
Oh, so again, I said this something similar yesterday. Ronald Trump says, I watch other guys' vids, and to my knowledge, he has not broken any laws. His videos are borderline, catering to a certain type, but he's doing it for the views. And that's what I did say, that he's doing it for the views. Now,
Like a lot of them, even if it's not for the money, it is still for the views and attention.
correct. The funny thing not so funny thing. For the most part, there's a even with the regular guy haters out there, there's somewhat of a consensus that he's really not a child diddler. It's kind of like there. Creepy, yes. And
I'm
then,
not saying that
but the
he's our
consensus
bestest bud.
is that he makes these videos for those type of people. Okay. Have you guys actually watched videos of those type that cater to
The
those
real
type of
ones
people?
that are here,
The
there's a
real
lot
ones.
of them on
Big
YouTube.
difference, night and day, not even close.
Well,
not even close.
here's an example. There's I don't know.
Yeah, like for instance, like Ronald Trump says it's borderline. And why is it borderline? The real border line between the real ones and regular guy. Regular guy does it in public where there's a ton of people around. The ones that cater to that type, they usually have them in a private setting.
Mm.
That's the real difference. And that's creepy as F. And we're talking about, hey, here's a towel, take a shower. No. I mean, they won't videotape them directly there in the shower, but point being, guys, again, anyway,
Yeah, see, that's what they're saying right there, and none of that applies. Somebody tried to throw that in
yeah,
there.
no, that's why you got questioned. Yes.
Got a bunch of YouTube attorneys, of course.
Now, Nagai Vape says, I'm not pro or anti anyone, but sure is a lot of keyboard lawyers here.
Yeah, I just said that.
Mhm.
Yeah. We try to go both ways on the topics, but we're not going to swing all the way out and actually do that. Just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. And we kind of stayed on that matter until last night. The lanyard and all that stuff is coming from the same group of people, and we can now pinpoint those same people. Okay. And there's a limit to the comments and the responses. And then you guys talk about it, and then all of a sudden you call us names. And when you guys call us names on the same hand that the troll behavior goes on about the thing, then you lose all credibility.
Yeah,
Making
and
fun of somebody on the same hand you're trying to persecute somebody and all that is just ridiculous. You're grown adults. It's and you're being called out. You're just being called out. And now you're just going to sit there and twist and turn because you're being called out. And honestly, I don't care. That's where I'm at on that. Same ones. You guys lost all credibility.
regular guy said, well, A says regular guy said he will go to Cambodia if he gets deported.
Good for him. That'll be the same here. You know how many times we've been threatened that this will happen and that'll happen, and when it happens, we'll just go back to the U.S. or we will go to Mexico or we will go to Cambodia.
Love the
So,
Philippines. Now this
and we'll continue the channel.
somewhat of a good point, but not really at the same time. What would people have to talk about if they didn't have a regular? They would pick on the other YouTuber.
That is true. That is true.
If it's not regular guy now, it's somebody else.
And
Fact.
you guys notice up to this point, like George said, we bring something to the table every time we've had a live stream. Now we're still bringing another live stream. We wouldn't have done another live stream if it wasn't for everybody trying to prove to us how old those milk tea girls were. So effing what? So? And I'm surprised a bunch of you guys aren't calling out those other people too, but you're just right with them. I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And Mr. McLevin says if the slipper was on the other foot, it would have been the exact same thing. I would be saying the exact same words because
Mhm.
nothing changed. All you did was change the people.
Yeah.
And again, it's nothing personal.
Yep. On the other foot, I'm kind of missing that. On the other foot, like if it was
No,
Mark
if it's
Thornton or
well, again, it doesn't matter whether it's they're talking about Mark Thornton and versus Dexter, or doesn't matter if you
no,
flip.
yeah, that would have been
It,
like I said,
we
it'd
would
been
have said the
Dexter.
exact same things. I
We'd
mean,
have said, okay, we have this, and then Dexter got served and
they're
all
like,
of this.
oh, you guys are pro Dexter because you keep putting up his eyes
Or
gouge
we
out. Well, guess
love
what?
Critter Hunter. We
If
don't know
Dexter is
anything
the
about
one that did that
Critter.
to Mark Thorne has the effed up face.
And they're putting it out there. Understand these
I mean,
other vloggers are putting that out there. And this is why we're covering it, because regular guy is still putting his life out there and still in communication. So everybody's putting something out, so we'll cover it. That's just what it is.
Wasn't aware of this one, Ronald, but thanks for bringing it up. No one talks about his stay in Manila, where there was a prostitute outside his hotel soliciting him, and he flatly turned her down like he was disgusted.
Is that the one we did see one where was it a mother and daughter, or was that another incident? I seen something similar, but yeah, that's what I mean. It's funny. Somebody did say how the videos are cut and pasted, and a lot of them. I mean, the man has a lot of videos, so he takes something down. We've taken stuff down for multiple reasons, but
Yeah, now Brian Nicole says milk tea is refreshing, and honestly, I am shocked that they didn't take that offer. If some stranger offered me milk tea, I'd be like, yes, please.
mhm. Why punish Cambodia, huh?
Yeah, right.
Well, I doubt he goes back to Canada. He already said why he's not going back to Canada. So,
Well, Street Freak, just so you know, again, the thing with titles, or what's the word?
I'm not saying that's right either.
Honorifics
We've
as
called him out as being a creep. I
well,
have.
what I'm saying is when somebody calls people babe, or somebody calls sweetheart, or somebody calls sugar, pay attention how they talk to adults and children. They use the same terminology. When somebody talks to an adult babe, they'll say to a child babe. If they say talk to an adult sugar, they'll talk to the child sugar.
Huh.
It's just the way people behave. Again, not defending anybody. Point being, I don't care. It's just human behavior. It's just the way they are. Now that means you don't call people babe. That's what tells me from your response. But
And further down, although I've seen the message was held, the reason vloggers don't go after certain vloggers are for certain reasons. One, they're currently not what's actually going around in the topics, and not of interest, or they're actually friends or have other interest in that party 100%, but not always. Mostly, I do see someone that addressed why other vloggers down on Walking Street, which they do some creepy stuff, are not addressed, and that's what we're saying. But the specific ones, it's for entertainment. I believe those vloggers are only for entertainment, and that's all, and they know that. But some outright do it, but allegedly have ties and connections, so nobody will go after them. And we mean serious ties, but I still say, how do you know regular guy doesn't have one? I mean, think about it. Who knows?
yeah.
Who knows?
Shirtload says if a Filipino policeman sees a kid with an older person, he will question the adult and child. If he thinks something's wrong, if he thinks there's something wrong.
That's true.
I've never seen regular guy make advances on a child.
Not a full one.
Yeah, well,
I mean, we've seen where he's like the milk tea thing. Would you like a
even
milk
that,
tea?
I don't think that's an advance. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that would be the closest thing, and that'd be up to the police, not a vlogger, to make that decision. So, what was?
That's fine.
1 second. Who was that? Somebody. Oh, Chili or short load. He did. He just didn't record it. Okay. Well, we'll see. Let the cards fall as they may. We shall wait like the rest of you.
Oh. Ronald Trump. No one talks about when he was in Tondo area. He bought 20 kids ice cream with generosity at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing is with kindness, and anybody will agree with me on this one. You can do 10 things of kindness, nobody will ever talk about it. You do one thing wrong, everybody talks about it. That's just the way it is.
All right. So John Wheeler further down, which is weird. Their moderators didn't grab this actual message, but and that's all I can say at this point. Philippine antics. I feel, and this is our John Wheeler friend here. I feel like if you caught him with a 14-year-old, you guys would just turn the other cheek and just say, he's just being a teacher to her. That's putting it a little out there. As in what? Why don't you say what was being done and we would just turn our other cheek? If he's standing there buying somebody a drink and standing next to her, or he's sitting down having lunch, when does that become everybody's business all of a sudden? Because you guys are going to make something up about him, just like you're going to make stuff up about us. And you guys have. You guys have. So I don't believe any of you anymore. So it's kind of like, in what manner? I mean, think about it. Think about it. It's just
Right.
ridiculous.
And some of you says we're contradicting ourselves. Obviously, you don't have a very good firm grasp of English. Apparently, I'm not speaking good enough English for you guys. Not some of you guys obviously don't know the meaning of alleged, and what happened. Two different things.
Yeah, the next minute via hearsay he violated a minor. When did we say he
We never
violated
said
a
that.
minor? No. We're reading through comments and we said that he's a creep.
We never said that. And
Not
again,
contradicting.
alleged
And this
alleged is not a confirmation.
No. And really, you guys about ready to make me say a bunch more stuff. That is for sure. And I really actually mean that.
Darren D, milk tea and boobs, two of my favorites. There you go.
And you're right, John Ryder. We are a drama channel, and we're a actual expat and Filipino living here channel, and we've done expat help videos. We have something like 70, 80, or 100 of them. If you guys want that, go watch that. We're going to go also where our numbers are. It's not for narcissism or that I'm out to take somebody down, that I absolutely have to take somebody down, or making fun of one person, or just sitting around for no reason for 9, 10, 12 hours, just sitting up talking about crap, guys. That is up to you. But give me a break. Yeah, that's John Wheeler. Andy's had his chance to cam up.
Okay, see, that's the thing, Rocky. I have no clue where this comes from. We've been neutral for the most part, even up to now. Weren't you two going after Rare Guy big time before? No,
when?
Never. Now all of a sudden you're backing him. Did you guys get started? Since when? Since when?
Yeah, when did we ever full force go against him? We said he was a creep. We were the first ones when he put out that Muslim thing. Sure, we said that a little bit ago.
And he's been on our channel afterwards. He's been on the channel.
Nobody's
He's
friend.
been on the
Nobody's
chat. He's been on the
legal.
live. On the live.
And even if they were, and what? And what? A bunch of, that's funny. No. Guys, we're just answering as these comments come in. We said he's a creep. We said some of the things he does isn't right. We don't see the legality where he's going to get arrested because we're not privy to the other little cliques that are out there. Nor do we want to be privy of those cliques. Okay? Secondly, not afraid of him either. Second, third, fourth, and fifth. We said that he did wrong in that Muslim video. I said that he was creepy. And if we don't like it, we don't watch it. That's where we're at. Let the law handle it. YouTube, police, attorneys threatening somebody, nothing sticks. You guys can report till you're sick in the face on stuff.
Yeah, and there's another thing I don't know why. Regular guy, no offense to regular guy again, is not that big. He's
Neither are we, neither are the
to
other
to
channels
catch
either.
enough attention
Under 40,
by
50,000
by
subscribers.
national news media or any of the sort that he would, that the government would swoop down on him and stuff. I mean, with all due respect to regular guy, he's not that important to in a grand scale, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it like, well, he's popular. Well, he is, but not at the same time. Um,
Gotta ask you guys why you guys are only going after one channel and then people that it's just crazy. I keep seeing it here over and over and over again that it's just doesn't make any sense.
Now, Chris Taylor, this is somewhat of it is a thing, but not really at the same time. Now, there is Philippine girls being managed by their USA boyfriends, pimps, to earn money on YouTube catering for all simps. Yes and no. Eventually, the girl wisens up and says, "You know what? I don't need you." Boom, new boyfriend. Get rid of the USA boyfriend. Because the moment the US boyfriend shows her the ropes on how to operate, they usually wise up and they're like, you know what? I can get something better than you. Fact. Um, Darren D, oh my god, you YouTuber try and get views. Deport. I wasn't gonna address this, but Jack Doe says his bachelor fool is a tool. Again, I'm sorry, the stuff that comes out of his mouth, again, it's entertainment.
If the proper reports come in, if everything is proven by a Filipino law, then that is a possibility he will be deported. So further down, they said that it's deportable, and that's if everything comes through. Yes. Darren D said babe implies sexual interest. What the? No, I agree. You know how many times under the age of 15 I was called that, or hun, or sweetheart, or whatever? It's a woke culture. Yeah, a lot of them are just. And you guys are wondering why we won't put your comments up? Like for real, and they're complaining like crybabies. Oh, they won't put my stuff up, and they blocked me and all of that. Yeah, there's kind of a limit, guys. And we do have multiple moderators, so you don't know who actually blocked you. Could be us, could be one of the other ones too. And it could be YouTube that just holds on to all your stuff. Hey, Bachelorette, cool.
Oh, hey Brian, how you doing? I have no credibility. I guess he's talking about Ace there. I have no
Aww.
credit. Hey Brian, how you doing, man? Feeling the Philippines in the house.
Yeah, don't worry, that one's been blocked, which I don't see where me being big or eating has anything to do with anything. And you guys are always assuming stuff, which is fine. That just goes to show your actual brain size and probably among other things.
Okay,
I mean,
regarding those statements, when you have nothing better to do than pick on physical appearances, outfit, size, shape, ethnicity,
As the side
there's
thing,
something wrong. Or sorry, and sexuality.
right?
There's
So
something wrong with
you
you.
guys think we're sitting here like all dying inside and stuff. It's not true.
Yeah, I mean, if your
I already
problem with a
said
person is their physical appearance, their weight, their size, and their sexuality, then obviously you are not a quality human being.
mhm.
Fact.
And that goes for any of the vloggers that have been called things. I mean, I've seen so much direct stuff, at us, but a lot of other ones here lately. And I'm like, what did that have to do with it? No matter what's being done, it's
Now, my random travel vlogs, the odd thing is, I'm not going to put up your thing there. I'm just going to read it. The thing is, this irregular guy has become such a public issue. If they don't do something, it will send the message it's okay to do what he does, touching kids, chatting up kids, videoing kids. Okay, first off,
videoing, huh?
most YouTubers do all of this
And more.
and worse.
So
And I
it's
mean
not
by
going to
touching,
start with regular
the
guys.
touching I've seen is a tap at best. Like, not.
Uh, yeah, right. It's still child's play.
And most vloggers do the same thing. The difference is somebody, where you're just not presented in that light. So you don't see it because, you know, that's just the
Yeah, I
way it
mean
is.
it won't start with that. As a matter of fact, any of those problems will start with non-vloggers. They're already here without channels. So it's just not vloggers. I do want to throw that part in.
Um, yeah, and for those of you arguing in the chat, he did not solicit because he didn't do anything.
Even if he did, I still don't think it is. If he didn't go and pull through with it and it was just the way it was, how many guys solicit every day down
Well, he
there?
did and he didn't. If he did solicit, so did a lot of these other YouTubers.
Mhm.
He's not the only one who's talked to a hooker. There's a lot of them out there that posted them talking to a hooker. I actually honestly didn't do it because I think it's, my opinion, tasteless to put up a hooker on camera and talk about prices. Just saying. But that's just me, my opinion.
It was a bad move. We'll say that it wasn't smart, that's for sure. But being nothing happened, I don't see
Right.
a lot of them. I'd be honestly curious how many of these people are actually here or even been here.
No, and again, some of you again in the chat saying that they're enjoyable videos. He travels and, take it for what it is. He's just showing off stuff and he's trying to entertain. Um,
I'd be curious if Philly's still in the room what he thinks.
relay
Regardless,
signings. Beanie Baby-Roonies. I like
Beanie
that
Baby
one.
Rooney's.
Beanie Baby-Roonies. It goes together, doesn't
And
it?
I'm not saying that Brian will not say how he feels about that, but I would still be curious. And some honestly do not want anything to do with the topic. So that
Now,
is for
Hector
sure.
Gubat says there's some Korean channels that show videos of borderline solicitations in karaoke bars in Manila and Burgos, but this just regular behavior Koreans perceive by locals.
Mm.
Well, actually, and again, a lot of YouTubers do this. You think regular guys alone? At least regular guy wasn't serious about it. He was joking around. Obviously, some of these put it up on YouTube. They're serious about it, or do it with a straight face and not joking about it, and they don't get in trouble. You guys don't swoop down on him from the internet heavens and yo, you're soliciting on YouTube. No,
Uh, I have to mention this, and it doesn't mean we follow either political party. Actually, we're pretty neutral. It did get held. It said that Biden enjoys smelling children. I did see that in a video one time. It showed him sniffing on them or something. It was an odd video that I seen. Still odd. Well, that is up to you, Izzy.
Yeah, Izzy and Chris. Again, obviously you're not listening, and no, and a lot of people would
We
disagree
didn't
with you.
say it was okay. We said that that was creepy. We're not going to go down and file a report over it. A trip, because we're not swaying to go in and say, no one believes Philippine antics. Don't care if you do. You either watch, don't watch, join, peep, open up another troll account to come back in and say the same thing. It's really. No, that's true, Jim.
Jim says, funny how this all started with 5 words. Troll me, bro. Troll
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. But probably like us, we're not going to, being the words out there now that it seems that we're all 100% pro, that we're just going to shut down on this one either. It doesn't. So it's just. I mean, why is it that everybody's trying so hard to prove to us as a channel that how those girls were based on the milk tea? I want to know from you guys why. Why is it so important for all you sock puppet accounts that start new accounts to come in after you've been blocked because you're being very inappropriate, okay? Or it's just weird. You try so hard and then come back in to try to convince us or the others and sway in your direction to get him thrown out. It's only a handful of people. And that's fine when it's all done. We're calling I'm personally calling out what's actually going on. That's where I'm at on this. What is the deal?
Now, Hector, I'm not well versed when it comes to underage law in the U.S. Because, well, first off,
Yeah, I can't see
most
that.
most normal people wouldn't know because
Right.
again, but according to Hector, Mississippi legal age of consent for sexual contact
There
is
is
16
some
years old.
states, yeah.
And what there are a total of 31 states have their age of consent 16, lowest age of consent in any state. But like I said, here there's clauses again.
Here's my problem.
It's not just 16.
I mentioned that before. Okay, so the fact that some are okay. Okay, there's a group that doesn't think anything's going wrong. Then others are on, oh my God, he's after 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds. And then there's the group in between that are just lying to themselves. They're like, as long as they're 18, then we don't have a problem with it. And then you guys back up when you hear they're 18. It's just weird. These people are all over the place on. They did. They were like, oh, okay, she's 18, or it's all right to date the 18-year-old then, and let's just. It's.
Yeah, just remember in the Philippines, 18. 18. If you have to ask, it's 18.
Uh, Well, I would. What was who did that?
Oh, Ronald Trump.
Yeah, Ronald. We didn't watch it. We were assuming he was talking about us, Ronald. And in regards to that, that happened a long time ago. A long, long time ago. So
Now,
just letting you know, probably 6 months ago. So why he's just putting something out on that and looks like nobody followed him. I mean, a few people responded to that and we didn't watch it. All we seen was the topic and I was like, yep, he's talking about us, but we did not watch the entire thing.
now,
Actually, didn't watch the entire thing. We opened it up and read the comments, but turned the volume down. And so,
yeah, now the guy vapes. I appreciate this comment because at least you're owning it. Because there's a lot of these people like, oh, you guys are into chismis. This is this, and they're like, wait a minute, what are you doing here then? The guy vape says everyone loves chismis and drama. Everyone in the chat here is living proof. Lol, me included.
right.
And
We had 400
but there's
people
these
yesterday. Holier than thou.
correct. They're
Headhunters.
they're
All these other
they
things.
think they're better than everybody else, but you're like, dude, then what are you doing in here?
And then when they can't get their way, they start calling names. And you channels know who you are, you trolls, you everybody in between, and that's fine. That's fine.
Brian says Omar will buy everyone milk tea. There you go, Andy.
There you go. That is for sure.
Lovely says he's not into Mark. She's referring to a regular guy. I know. Oh, you do. You do know him. Okay.
Well, there's quite a few vlogging females that have
There it says
actually come
Philly's the man.
forward.
Brian's the man. He's a good guy, not the others. No, I didn't know you knew him.
Well, like I said, the biggest thing that we wanted to take away was the call we got about 7:30 a.m. and that would be the spouse or what she says is the partner of the Angeles City or not vlogger, Angeles City guy. Okay, Mr. Ford, but we said they called him Teddy Bear. I think we still have that, but I would do we still have a video
Oh,
of
I was.
okay. But his his person verified that she does know what's going on and also to say that the gentleman the charges are being dropped and that it was for everything that's being accused and that it looks like the government is not going to pursue it and as a matter of fact he's out. That's crazy if you think about it, but I think this case will work the same. It's going to really have to be proven and it's going to have to be something heavy duty. And I actually honestly think that if it's proven, and I'm sure regular guys keeping track of everything. And in the end, it could just turn out to be a he said, she said, trying to do in his channel and all of this. It just could turn into one big mess. But if the proof is actually out there, then I say, then prove it.
Now, not picking on anybody in particular, because I've seen an ongoing thing that somehow there's an impression that regular guy is a reject from Canada. Is there even proof of anything of such a sort? I mean, that's kind
Uh,
of like a weird statement to make, and it's not made by one person. It's made by
It's
several.
because of what's being put out there. So now it's being, he's even put his own word out there, babe. He said that it's super expensive. He doesn't want to live in Canada. It's about jobs. He just wants to do vlogging. So it could be his own words. That's actually, he does do a lot of live streams where he's been drinking. And
Well, that still
so,
doesn't make a country kick you out.
well,
Um, hey, Mike says, for me, Scott commented in my one video and he admitted he was wrong for what he did. Hence, admission of guilt.
are we talking about, do you want me to send him the link?
Yeah, yeah. Well, D-Man
Hey, D
says
man.
this is a valid concern. However, actually, regular life probably is not the top of the list. I'm worried that these questionable vloggers are going to ruin things for the rest of us. Regular visitors, expats, questionable vloggers alike in the years to come
I'm sorry.
to those questionable individual. The ones that will probably be a more of a threat to tourists, as it were, or vloggers, are the ones that don't um when they are told not to film in certain areas and they film. Now I understand that regular guy does the zooming thing and everything else. In the end, maybe, but that's probably the least on the list. The main list
Oh,
is
1 second, Mike. He sent that. So he was just saying where he
oh,
admitted he
okay, he
was
showed.
wrong.
Okay, yeah. So again, it's more the issue right now that you're not really supposed to vlog in certain places, like in government buildings, that kind of stuff, in private places unless you have permission, that kind of stuff. Which and if now, yeah, sure. Now that's what I'm getting at. So for the most part, that now the zooming thing in the end eventually, but that's not on the top of the list of violations. If that makes any sense. So I'm saying one person doing it does not make it the top, doesn't put it on the top of the list. You know what I'm saying? It's the
Yeah.
reoccurring violations, as it were.
Yeah, I'm thinking Mike is talking about the offering of the woman money. He admitted he was guilty, but it doesn't mean he actually had an act with her. But it's hard saying. Like I said, they can deport you for wearing a shirt that says milk tea for kids or something. It's hard saying.
Sarah Tyson says, ask Brian to come up.
Touching.
What
Whoa.
is that? Hey, what's going on? That you sent us, we had seen before. Was that the one where he propositioned the girls out front of the? Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
So
mean, like me and George had that full conversation. I mean, you probably heard what we've basically been talking about. It's just because there's been more and more and more stuff coming out, and
yeah.
it was just kind of, And then, like I said, they just released that guy that just had full sexual acts on two children under a certain age. One was 6, and they just turned him loose here in Angel City.
Well, if there evidence for him, that's the first thing. The next thing is, did the parents back up? Did they all of a sudden, was somebody paid? You don't know, but it all depends on what
Well, no,
happens.
we talked to her this morning. We know exactly. He's on his way back home.
Good
So
for
what
him.
it
If
is that no, the person that did the accusations have dropped the charge. So,
Well, that's
but
that's the thing, right? So I
yeah,
mean, if he's innocent, good for him. If he's home, he's home. That's great. But just like you said, it's the Philippines. There's a lot of things that could cause things
could
why no. I mean, it happens in the U.S. as well, right? Settle outside
right.
court, those kind of things. Just that's just gonna happen no matter what. It's a lot easier in the Philippines. I hate to admit that and stuff like that.
No, it's true. It won't, I've already heard from several people this week that have allegedly paid their way. Now, whether you can believe them or not, but it is a place where, with the right attorneys and things going on, it would be
Mhm.
easy to, you know, you know.
Yeah. That does happen. I mean, like, for my thing with Scott, because people ask me for my opinion, and my opinion is based on like what are the potential charges he can get, right?
Right, right.
So
So,
when people say something, well, he didn't solicit because he didn't have sex
yeah,
with
that
them,
I
right?
said
It's like,
that.
no.
Yeah,
But the thing though with that is solicitation does not mean that you need to have intercourse. So,
okay.
like a good example, right? People get arrested for solicitation of a minor. You don't have to have the intercourse. There has to be just intent.
Right, which has to be proven, which means the parents have to back, and the same with this
And so,
video
yeah,
situation.
so
Yeah.
in the video that he has, he asked them, how much for a short time?
Hmm.
He asked that question. The
Yes.
next thing is, and he waved them over. Okay. So he waved the people over to come to him. Then there's the question of how much to see boobs, the booboonies, whatever you want to
Right.
call it, right? So there is intent, there is solicitation. Now, can it be used against him? Yes. He personally made the video, he personally posted it. And then there's the part where he made money through the solicitation of a sexual worker. And I specified even the girl should get in trouble anyways, right?
Right. Yeah, I
There's two
said
people
that.
at fault there.
Uh-huh.
So that's where that stuff can go. Anybody that sees that video, if they are or if they want to, yeah, there's going to be some people that's going to be like, well, they're workers. That's how you're
Right, and
supposed to
and which
treat
he
them
has since
anyways.
taken down, so
Mhm.
all of this will play into the fact for sure. I mean,
And
do
it's like
you
no
feel they'll
difference.
deport him based on that?
They can.
They could,
Because
that's a question, but will they?
yes, if it goes to the proper authority, yes, it's no difference than that German guy, all right? That Poggy German guy.
Mhm.
Okay. It's no difference than the newer guy that's getting canceled right now, Austin Shucks. Have you guys heard about
Yeah,
him?
no, I've seen him, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So with him,
that's
you know,
you've seen him, you
No,
just
I know him, but
He's asked
On
girls to be like,
YouTube.
would you want to sleep with me? He's asked
No,
girls
he
of
does. He
like,
puts a scale down and
Oh,
he does some weird stuff. But yeah, here lately he's been asking more and more questions about swallowing and what it tastes like, and he's talking directly to
Mm.
Filipinas. Yes.
what does
Now
it
the girls videotaped. Number one, the girls are videotaped. That doesn't mean like they obviously he's interviewing them. They allowed him to be interviewed and stuff like that. But we can even say the morality police, or you can even say the conservative police of the Philippines and stuff like that sees that and no. So Austin Chucks lost his what do you call this thing? Lost his he got demonetized. Okay. So there's a lot of potential things that can happen. And now, he hasn't uploaded anything in the past 5 days ever since he went viral this week. So there's a
Right,
lot
but
there.
there are many factors that go on with the Pogie because he did a lot of additional stuff. I mean, it is a
Yes.
possibility,
Yes.
but
And
probably not as strong of a case as they've had on some of the others. And it is up to the immigration officers and all these other things to actually go through with all this.
yeah,
Do
because
you feel with multiple channels and you know who they are and the ones that are out there, you don't think that there's, I mean, as we keep saying, that there's an actual witch hunt out there?
I think that I think with regular guy, he's the flavor of the month.
Okay, man, we said that at some point. Yes.
And it's his own fault, right? He challenged people. He
He
said,
did challenge. That's right.
"Troll me." So this is the thing where he's can't say he's not accountable for it. And then he's asking these questions. Why are people after me? Why are I don't understand why people are saying that I'm gonna get hurt. Is that, and listen, I'm not somebody who's gonna be saying, okay, attack the person. What I'm saying is that if he gets attacked, then you're like, well, that was coming.
Well, me and George said that like when we first started talking about him, remember I said about the Muslim girl, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. And some people called us a switch out on it. I said, no, I still think he's creepy and I still think he's wrong for the things that he's been doing and everything. But in that manner, I said, yes, that's all a possibility that with all these videos out and things going on that he could, that he's put out, he could get himself in trouble here.
The only thing that's saving him is the fact that he goes to small towns.
Well,
That's
that
the
and he's
big
on the
difference.
move too.
That's the big difference. He goes to small towns. You do that in the major cities like BGC, Muntinlupa, all these bigger places. That's where you're going to get in trouble faster than
Right.
the smaller place. So to pay attention to a lot of the guys, the YouTubers who makes those type of content that gets caught up in the Philippines, they're always doing it in the big cities.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Pogi German guy, Muntinlupa. Look at this Austin
Yeah.
guy, BGC, Manila, and stuff like that. Makati's where he's at. It's because that's seen right away, and then people are going to be like, no, we protecting our city in a way. So I'm not saying here's my thing. If this gets in front of people of power, if this gets in front of a more zealous cop, we'll say, or prosecutor and stuff like that, this will can bear weight, because like I said, and I sent you guys the admission of guilt, that video that I talked about the solicitation, right? He made a comment stating that he was wrong, and then blames the alcohol, and then states, I've cut down my alcohol by 95%.
Yeah, I seen that message.
So if that right there is an admission of guilt based on the video that was put out. And what did he do right after? He took it down. He took that comment down, but of course I recorded a video showing the comment really does come from my channel.
Right.
So here's the thing. Like if somebody wants to go after him, we have to let them be. Right? It's like we start talking about, it's like, well, did he really do this? Did he really do it? I don't know about the stuff, but we can't also base it just on this one video. He just said that there. What you have to look at is the accumulation of the content, the accumulation, and the how would you say, things that are happening continuously throughout videos. And so those are being seen. The fact that he does have multiple of those videos. It's not just one, but multiple. Now, the milk tea thing, we can play both sides. We can play in the middle with that stuff. Okay? But then we have to start looking at a good example. When he bought those people some bread, the Pandesal gate, we'll say that. He did touch them without them asking for. Now, some people probably just are a little bit too handsy, but some people are not. But then it doesn't matter, because in the end, if somebody feels that that is pambabastos, especially you start saying it's in a conservative, supposedly country, then there is a violation of space right there. Especially if you saw the video where he touched a girl in her arms and she wiped it after he touched it. So that right there is an evidence that she did not want to be touched. Now, should he have asked them if I can touch you there? Of course, technically, right? But this is where you can start saying, is like, well, is he socially awkward or is he trying to cop a feel? Now, the interpretation goes by anybody that watches it. That's why there's going to be some people
Right,
that's going to
George
say
said, yeah.
this way, and there's going to be some people that says this way, and there's the people in the middle be like, I don't care,
Yeah,
because
that's
they're
what we're saying.
over
There's pretty
18
much 3 ways, yeah.
and they're adult. But then here's the next thing is, how do we know that they're an adult?
Yeah.
That's another problem right there.
Yeah.
The
Which
next
will
thing
all
is,
be for the police, immigration, and all that. We get that people, can go turn stuff in and do all of this, but
yes, they
there's
may
a
have
lot, a
enough
lot.
to kick him out, but maybe they're like, we don't even want to prosecute this, but there's enough evidence of him being creepy enough that we
Mhm.
don't want a creepy person in this country.
There's a
And
lot of
so, and majority of times, the guys that get kicked out of the Philippines, they don't even get the charges. They just say, get in the plane. You have 2 choices. We're going to arrest you or go to the plane. And most of the time is they just don't want to arrest them, because that's just going to add more towards, the already backed up judicial system that's already in the Philippines. So a lot of these guys gets a free pass to leave, get out, and that's what ends up happening for majority of these guys. Chinese, Koreans, and everything like that. That's just what's going to happen to a lot of these people. Now, there are people that are putting in their work who have the connections, and I unfortunately do know a couple people that is valid from what what I'm seeing. So, but the thing though is, he's moving from town to town, round. But the problem is also, he asked to be trolled, and when you ask to be trolled and you put the challenge, the question is, will somebody take up the challenge?
Challenge accepted.
And they accepted the challenge. And what better yet of a trolling is to put out your name. So he asked for his name to be put out. And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate. Now, and here's the thing.
No, it is unfortunate. I don't
You
think
know?
the parents need to be involved. It was dropped and then brought back in again. We just had our Philippine journey that said children and parents shouldn't be brought in, but yet he was all up in the room that day. All that was being discussed. So it's like everybody has their opinion on who should be brought in, what trolling means, what saying. I mean, go report this person, go do this, go do that. I mean, it's just kind of adding all the way around to the situation.
Yeah, but see, that's and we had this conversation in the past. When is it reportable? Because in the end, if we're gonna adhere, like George said, right? You're innocent until proven guilty. So if you're one of those guys, diddlers, let's say, for example, like that, how do you know they're diddling?
Yeah.
Are they just over friendly? Are they just, or are they just really weird people? Because then, and by the general sense, a lot of these guys who are diddlers, they have social awkward, they are socially awkward.
No.
You will see that by general, a lot of these guys have some the social awkwardness in acting in public. That does not mean if you have the problem of being socially awkward, That doesn't mean that all of a sudden you should be guilty by it, you know. But the thing though is he does and have videoed himself in the actions of doing it. And I think that that's where he can have a problem for that. You know, I mean, so, you know, I mean, in the end, my thing, you know, and I told him this. I've actually literally told him, bro, you're threading the lines. I'm like, you're getting there. You're threading the lines, you know, and in here, and the proof in the pudding on everything, right? And I said this, I go, let's say, for example, he's not. Let's say, you know, he's just, you know, whatever. But that doesn't mean that you're not and if you're not aware enough when people are making you aware, you know that you're feeding the type of people that are of that life, that are thinking that way because of the type of content that you make.
Content.
It's very voyeuristic because the difference between doing a street walking video and there's a difference between zooming in and zooming into certain things and then making comments in the bottom. So there's big difference, right? I mean, it's not my fault that if I'm videotaping whatever and then a girl, I don't know, her skirt lifts up, right? But there's a big difference between that and you putting an upskirt video. Okay.
Right. Or
So
cropping and then putting the comment afterwards.
Yeah. So and also when you look at the type of comments that he does, it's very there's sexual innuendo, and you cannot deny that there's no sexual innuendo in what he's doing. Another good example for him is his the one the young lady from the pharmacy. Okay. What was the question that he asked? He ducks his head under and he says something like about, are you, you know, you look 17.
Yeah, he did say that, yes.
So why ask that? That's a problem. Because like I said, it's accumulate, you know, because it's adding up, the compilation of things that are adding up in a lot of his videos. By that enough that they can say, okay, we just can't have this type of individual in this country if it gets up there. Because, you know, the thing though is, if she looks 17, why are you asking her that? Like, no grown man would do that of mature thinking. It would be like, you know, there would be a difference. Like, you know what, you look really young, you know. You can say like that, you know, you look like you're 24, 23 and stuff like that, right? But the thing goes to choose 17 as a number. That's sus to me. Now, that's not enough to be able to say something about him, but it's very sus. So it adds up for me. You know, so that's the thing. What I'm saying is, like, in my look on a lot of this stuff is, you know, it's just the funniest thing to me. It's like, you know, okay, just add it up. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, the comments that came about after these videos that were coming out, right? That's when you start seeing the ones who are the voyeuristic guys, the ones that are defending that, oh, it got upgraded from 12 to 16.
Oh yeah, on the age limit, yeah.
Oh, you know, your lawyer don't know what she's talking about. Oh, you know, but you know, this is where when you start seeing these comments, the defending types, there's going to be some guys like, you know, just leave RG alone. Okay, I can respect that. That's your decision. That's your choice. That's great. But you really see a lot of these guys in these comments, and you're just like, wow, there's one right there. Like, I had one guy, Andy knows this. I had one guy. He was just making all these comments left and right. And I was like, you know what? So I went at him in regards for the way he's talking, what he's saying, gave him some stuff. You know what this guy did? He goes, I'm erasing all my comments because I don't want to be this and that. I'm like, okay. So then he had his own channel, and this guy's been around. He's small following, but around. Okay. And so then I went to his channel. I said, because he's lying. Because I said, you know, all this stuff that he was saying, I went after him. I'm not going to be specific here. I went after him, and guess what? This just happened yesterday. He canceled his channel because he had a lot of suspicious stuff going on his channel. So this is, you know, I get it where some people are like just really mad about it, really upset about it. I get you. I get the people where they're in one end of stuff like that.
Right.
And if you are in the spectrum of like, you know what, this is so wrong, this is bad, this and that, then my question is, what are you planning to do about it? Are you going to do anything about it? But sometimes there's going to be just enough people that if there's enough people that says something, then maybe you can change something. Because here's the thing, if he starts realizing maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, it's too bad. But maybe this is the wake up call for him. Maybe it does change. Maybe he has the spark and realization for that moment. But just like on that comment that he made when he admitted guilt in my channel that he took down, you know, pretty much like I said, blaming the drinking. You can't blame the drinking. That's one thing. And then what he also said in another comment that he made in his own channel, saying that, well, I've changed since then. I said I've done more conservative stuff. I'm like, in my head, no, because from that incident of the booby gate,
Yeah.
he's made after that the Muslim gate. It added so many more after that. So he hasn't changed. Will this change him? You know, we'll see. But at the same time, as he doesn't have to change for people. If he feels that he's not in the wrong, continue doing what you're doing. But there's a big difference on how Western people think it's okay, and there's a difference between how Filipinos may think it's okay. And in the Philippines, it's known for canceling channels. Filipinos, if it gets to the Filipinos, they're better trolls. Filipinos are the best trolls in the world. It's a fact. And if it gets to Filipinos, in the end, it's like, do you want to get a, you know, let's say, for example, you're innocent. You're truly innocent. Philippines is not the place where you're gonna do enough that it's close enough that they'll put a charge on you. You don't want to get a charge in the Philippines. It's not the place where you mess around and find out. So I don't know. It's up to him what he wants to do. I mean, I'm not his mother. I'm not his father. You guys are not the mother or the father. People in the chat are not
That's
those
true.
people. You know, it's
Yep.
it's like everyone's gonna have their view and thing. Everyone's gonna have their, you know, their binoculars on and stuff like that. You know, and just like, for example, with the range 999 guy, I had my own feelings about it, how I saw it. You guys had your own as well, right? We're all gonna have difference of opinions and stuff like that. But in the end, which is which? And so I personally don't want to risk it, because a lot of stuff that he does, he goes into these bad areas. That's the dumbest thing to move. I mean, just like that one video of his where they didn't allow him to go in and videotape, right? Somebody called him out. He's going into bad places. And one of these days, whether or not he's not knowing, if it's for the love of the content, we know a lot of more higher ranking YouTubers like Neon, like that Johnny Somali guy, that they're making it for the content, for their viewers, because that's what they want. And look at that. They're going to
Yeah.
jail, they're getting canceled, you know, just like I said, like with you know, that Neon guy. He's crying on on video now because they took away his sponsorships, $2 million sponsorships, all this stuff. You know, just so, and especially he's saying he's making money through YouTube because he's not teaching anymore. What happens when that channel gets taken down? If it gets taken down, I'm not saying it will. But what happens if it does?
That's true.
Where does that go? Yeah, I
Right.
don't know.
That's more believable than anything. So
Yeah, he's violated 2 rules that could be used against him: solicitation, okay, and then also bawal bastos, 11313. 2 charges that you don't need the witnesses because there's video evidence. So the person at fault here is him for videotaping it, in my opinion.
he's thinking.
Well, no. There's a lot, and again, I didn't want to, Now the thing with regular guy again. Now, first off, again, not picking on him, but he does travel on off the beaten path things, and which could eventually get him in trouble. And for those of you guys in the room, when you travel in the Philippines, follow the same rules you would follow in the U.S. For example, there's still some very common measures you have to do to base common sense. For example, train track areas are not a good area. Under the bridge areas are still not a good area. These are telltale signs. Um, there's no okay. This is not a defining line, but like no asphalt roads as a general rule. Not because they're you know. I'm not saying the people are sketchy, but sometimes you go in these areas. Sometimes there's no way back if you're on a particular vehicle. Like for instance, our car in the areas we've been in, me and Heidi. I'm like, I'm not gonna take that car there. It's not gonna make it back. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, there's certain things that could get you out of trouble. Meaning, like I said, regular guy unfortunately doesn't follow these common rules. He goes off road, he goes under bridges, he goes, by the train tracks, and these are not good areas. And I'm not judging people there by chance, but you have to remember again, not judging the people. As a general rule, the people who usually, for example, who do substance abuse, they have nowhere to go, and these are their go-to places, and therefore you're prone to getting, robbed or anything like that. And also be aware too that that type of mentality with these people is what could get regular guy in trouble. And that's why I said I'm more worried about the people going after him. So if by chance that he disrespected in the locals' eyes in these particular areas, those people are not going to hold back. And that's what we mean by, and that's what Mike means by, you could get in serious trouble with these locals.
I think that's more likely to happen than anything, but
Right. Yeah, mob justice, in all probability, mob justice is more my concern for him more than anything, because that'll be instant. I mean, there's no trial, no nothing. You just like, boom, done. You know what I'm saying?
And it's happened a lot in the Philippines where foreigners gets attacked in the streets. I mean, we see it a lot. I mean, some of them just don't go out there and doesn't get reported, but there's a lot. I've seen a lot that's never been in the news. So I mean, so it's like it's there. It's happening. I mean, like with everything with bad things happening all over the world, there's like probably a 1% thing that gets put on the news that gets into the World Wide Web and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff doesn't get reported, and it's unfortunate, but it is the truth. So it's like for people to say, "Well, it doesn't happen." Well, did you watch the news every day? No. So then you won't can't really say, do you understand Tagalog or do you understand this? And a lot of people, will just a lot of people get the news from, your channel, maybe my channel, other people's channels and stuff like that. But there's some guys that are really good. They check out Philstar every day and stuff like that. There's some people that, look at a lot of other things and stuff like that. So those are the more well-informed people. Um, but people just don't understand. It's like Philippines has a different type of mob justice. It's
mhm.
just
Yes.
different.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I was saying the other day. Actually, we've said it several times. That would be more of a concern than actual charges or him being deported.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I
and to
mean,
make
it's
things worse, oh, sorry. To
oh
make
no,
things
no.
worse than what Mike says, it's not enough that you check every day. You have to know where to look, what to look for, how to look for. Because sometimes me and Heidi were like, I even tell Heidi, I didn't see that. I didn't see that on the news. And I read the news yesterday. And Heidi was like, oh, did you check this? Did you check this? Did you check that? Point being is, not all the news comes in one source. You have to know where to look for, how to look for it. You have to look.
Well, some areas will release things in newspapers
Correct.
more than other, like
You're
the
right.
Cebu News, Dumaguete, and then you won't see it anywhere
So
else.
you have to be more specific. Even, I mean, reading the news is not enough every day.
I mean, like here's a fun part, right? And even like, you know, have you even read the tabloids in the Philippines? Like even in the tabloids, you're gonna find that stuff. It's like okay, let's try this. The non-Filipinos, you non-Filipino people, okay, don't answer this, okay? In the chat, the non-Filipinos, all right, you know, even okay. What is the major tabloid of the Philippines?
Oh, where?
No,
What
the
is
name.
the name of the tabloid? Like, you know, right in the States, it's that the thing that Trump owns now, right?
National Enquirer.
National Enquirer and stuff like that. But what is the main tabloid in the Philippines? Phil Star is not a tabloid, that's a newspaper.
No,
It's
that's
called
James.
Abante. Una sa balita. So first in the news for news and stuff like that. When's the last time you guys picked up, you know, Abante paper and stuff like that? I still read Abante every now and then. So like that's the thing. It's like that's been going on since like the 70s and 80s. That's
Right.
where I used to like, you know, see when somebody gets chopped and everything like that.
Yep.
So
Right next to the centerfold of Pepsi Paloma.
you know, I was more of a Sarsi. I was a Sarsi person.
Oh, there you go. Sarsi.
Yeah,
Right
not
next
not
to the centerfold of
not.
Sarsi.
I was not a Pepsi person. I was a Sarsi person. So a lot of you guys don't know. During the 70s, and 80s, for some reason, they called it like the pop soda girls and stuff like that. During
Yeah,
the
there you
70s
go.
and 80s, the sexy bold stars of the Philippines were named after drinks, soft drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Pepsi, Sarsi, yeah.
Pepsi, Sarsi, yeah. So those are the golden days, baby.
Yeah, it was funny. The reason why I laugh because I was just buying rice again to give away to people, and I looked up the rice, and I'm like, oh my gosh, tabloids, they still exist.
Oh, yeah.
They're hanging up, and then you can see the girls on them, like.
Like or like my favorite one was like always like the because the San Miguel guy would deliver like cases of beer to the house, right, back in the days. And you know, this you know, I was what, 6th grade then, so you know I was starting to think certain things. And you know I find out the delivery guy will be like, do you want some, you know, do you want the calendars? I'm like, yes.
Oh dang!
So remember the San Miguel calendars? Oh my
Miguel
god, love me
calendars.
some San Miguel calendars. I still have, actually I have a couple from the year 2000. So
Yeah, that's the Ginebra girls.
oh yes, Ginebra girls.
There you go. It's the
But,
Ginebra girls.
but that's the thing. It's like, listen, like, you know, in the end, with people putting these things out, I think Scotty, there's a chance that he's not going to get in trouble. But what I'm seeing is there's people reporting because they took.
Oh, we're not doubting that.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
they took the challenge. They took the challenge of the troll, and so they're definitely gonna put it out and stuff like that. Can that get in trouble? They're not gonna be able to catch him right away because he goes from town to town.
Well,
But
that's, yeah.
but if they do get him, it's when he's renewing his pass, he's renewing his tourist, or there's that Indian guy that got arrested.
Yeah, I just
at
seen
the
that. He
airport.
tried to leave. Yeah. one
Yeah,
that just
and
came
he
out
overstayed.
last
Yeah,
night,
he
yeah.
overstayed and everything like that. And so even that, like, people don't understand. Like, if you overstay, when you're leaving, they can arrest you if you didn't pay your dues.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's an interesting
Yeah,
thing.
he tried to
what
slip
you're gonna
right
see.
through on that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember when you know, so we were there, what, for, you know, 1st grade to 6th grade for me, right? I remember when it was time for us to leave, like, I guess we overstayed in the Philippines because we're tourists, you know, we're considered tourists. And I remember, like, we had to, you know, my mom was like, oh my god, she's like, we're gonna have to pay all this. So she, you know, she did the payment stuff, and that was pretty crazy. Like, you know, having to go with her and stuff like that. And I think we ended up paying like close to about, between my sister and I, like about $1,000 something in overstay fees. And this was what, 1990 and stuff like that. So yeah. Wait, George, which one was the one that got murdered? Was it Pepsi or was it Sarsi?
Pepsi Paloma.
Pepsi Paloma got murdered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of but anyway, but
She was our she's our Black Dahlia of the Philippines.
yeah, Pepsi, and it was Pepsi. Just to Peach expat prepper, and you're wondering the sex bomb dancers. It's real easy to remember. The terminology you're looking for is sex bomb. The terminology is bomba.
Sex bomb.
Bomba. Bomba dancers. Sex bomb, bomba.
Spaghetti ba ba ba.
Yeah, just add an A to that.
Spaghetti pataas.
But yeah,
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
bomba. Like George said, bomba is it's bold or naked in the Philippines.
yeah.
Street Freak Patrol. How much to renew a sexpat visa? Free, probably.
Right.
You just
Sexpat
gotta
visa.
pay a little extra to stay, I guess.
You just don't pay. That's the sexpat visa.
Right.
Oh, that's right. They just overstay.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just let their visa run out on visa or passport,
they just
everything
overstay.
else.
Most of them are overstayers, and their girls actually report them.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
why they don't
that
give money
happens a
anymore.
lot.
There's a lot
Like-
of them. And
Like,
a lot of them
that's-
you won't
that's the
even hear
thing.
about at all.
I need to get this sexpat out of my house. Let me call.
It's like guys don't understand. It's like even the 5-6 scam. Now, like here's the thing: just because some
Hey,
Filipinos
Red
do
Zone
this,
Mindanao, what's up?
what's up, dude? Not everybody
what's up?
does it. Like there's Filipinos that will borrow money from the 5-6 people, the Indian people, right?
Oh no.
The 20%,
The one
20%
sitting there at the
whatever.
ATM when I'm standing there for an hour and 45 minutes because they've got 50 cards in their hand, taking a little bit out
Oh
of each.
no, the one with the card stuff that happens majority of the time within coworkers. That's a coworker thing. Like there's
Oh,
always that one
sounds
person. Yeah, there's always that one person in the office that always lends money to everybody, and so she knows that
to
she
hold
gets
the
to get the card.
ATM cards to get their payments.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
There's that, but then there's the other people. But the 5-6 people, they come in the house and they collect their money in their motorcycle. But sometimes they even like, okay, you owe me plus. Do you want to buy something new? You want a new electric fan? You want a new? What do you want? But the 5-6 people, sometimes Filipinos be like the bad ones and stuff like that. We're like, you know what? I don't want to pay the money anymore. So they all
Go
gang up and they report the guy, and he gets deported, so that their loan is done. They don't have to pay the loan
Oh,
back.
snap.
Like there's and thing that George talked about happens a lot. They get some of these Filipinos get pissed enough on you, they're like, psh, let's send him home, and you're done.
Yep.
Yeah,
when Filipinos like don't drop charges or don't report you and stuff, don't think of it as weakness. Actually, it's by nature Filipinos are kind, and they're like, you know what, just cut him a break, cut him some slack, let him go. But it's kind of like the direct opposite on the other side of the spectrum. They'll have your butt deported for any freaking reason they can find. You know what I mean?
so
But
somebody
usually
asked like,
usually it's a partner. Usually.
so yeah, no, and just like anything, right? Like in unalive cases and stuff like that, it's always the partner. It's like
It's
the partner
always
is
the
always
partner.
like what 75% of the time it's the partner that did it and everything
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
But somebody was asking how are Filipinos the biggest trolls, because that's why a lot of people sometimes starts their careers in vlogging in the Philippines or will go to the Philippines just to get their initial boost. Philippines is used for that, and it's even known. It's a known fact that you make content in the Philippines, because Filipinos are all over the world and Philippines are active in social media and stuff like that. But at the same time, as you piss off enough the Filipinos, they will troll you by a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sad. Which reminds me.
Oh, Eden, I disagree with you. Eden says I think vloggers need to register to the barangay so they can be monitored, separate the wheat from the chaff. That unfortunately, as a general rule, any form of any registration of any particular type of person, race, manner, job, whatever, that list tends to be exploited, even at barangay level. So what I'm saying is there's a big big misunderstanding or false belief that vloggers have money here in the Philippines.
That and they would have to do it with everybody because there's more Filipino vloggers here than anything.
So, and what I'm saying is, if that happened as a reality, odds are there's people who have access to that list will give away your name and address, and people will show up at your door asking for money and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's not a good
There's
idea. I
multiple
get that your
reasons.
heart's in the right place, but unfortunately, if there's a list, there's a way.
Yeah, there's even several, you know, you can say influencers in the Philippines that what happens is like this happened several times. Like, you know, they do something bad. Filipinos hate them. Like, have you seen that a couple YouTubers, where everyone just started ordering Grab for them and had it delivered at their house. So before you know it, there was like hundreds of like delivery Grab drivers bringing food to their house. Like, you know, so it's like, which is number one is wrong because you're taking money away from the Grab drivers, which sucks for them. But you know, it's like sometimes Filipinos,
Oh, it's unpaid money, unpaid
yeah,
food. Oh,
yeah,
dang. Yeah, no, that's right. Cause yeah, if you or guys, if you order food from Grab and you turn it away, you decline it, that Grab driver
loses
literally
money.
eats it.
Mhm.
Literally eats it.
Yep.
Because, for example, somebody screwed up our order. It was a double order. It was the exact same order. One driver came after another. There was a glitch in the system,
Yeah.
and the guy showed up, and I was like, we took it
We
from
went
him
ahead and paid for it
because
because he said he would have had to eat it, and it
he
was
would
kind of
have, yeah, he
odd.
would have paid for it, and it was, yeah, that's taking money away from the Grab drivers, like Mike says. No, they pay for it out of their pocket, and then
Mhm.
you reimburse them the money, right? It's not like well, no, U.S. same thing, right?
Oh,
No, in
I
the
don't
US,
think so.
they get a card.
Oh, now they
Like
get a card,
yeah, they get, you know, and it goes. That's why there's those couple Uber Eats drivers that scammed the Uber out of like over like $300,000 because they
Oh,
would order, and it's like, so it's like, I don't know how they did it, but they were able to scam Uber out of like over six figures and stuff like that.
oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's pretty much it. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys.
All right,
I
thanks, Mike.
got to.
Appreciate you
I'm
so
gonna go
much.
eat my food and stuff like that.
There you go.
Talk to you later, Mike.
Later, everyone,
All right,
and the
later.
trolls. Love you guys.
Bye, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah. You're kind of missing that one.
No, I am. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. RR says kawawa, meaning again poor drivers. Yes. Again, when you're in the Philippines, Uber here is gone. It used to be here. Now it's Grab, and if you have Grab delivery for food, if it's cash, again, they pay for it out of the pocket, and then you have to reimburse them. Basically, that's how it works. Oh, okay.
Right. Which is still kind of off for us because.
Yeah, I was street for pro with super high interest. That's what they call Bombay, may Bombay, which means again, they give you a super high interest.
Oh, the newspaper Abante. So.
Oh yeah. Snowman says coworkers will pull their money together, create a loan company as a side venture. There's something here called paluwagan. Paluwagan is when, mm, depending on how big your group is, let's say 5 people, and let's say um everybody like agrees. All right, this week everybody contributes $20 a week, so it'll be 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. So that's basically $100 for the first week. You get a random like drawing of straws, I guess. So this week this person gets the 100, next week this person gets the 100, next week gets this person gets 100, but everybody contributes $20 a week, get it? And then the cycle goes over again. That's called palawagan.
Mm.
It's kind of like In a way, it's like a pay advance loan, whatever. Yeah. Oh, that's something else.
Yeah, we'll probably just wrap it up, babe. We're at the end of all of this.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
so,
Appreciate you for being
yeah,
here.
because now it's just like going back and forth. So, yeah, we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, thanks so much for MYK Mike for being with us, for being our moderator as well. Tony Manning, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Fitness Road Mitch, thank you very much. Appreciate your support. Ted was in the house today. Thank you so much, Ted, for being here. Ruby is in the house too as well. Bruce Davis was in the house too. Thank you so much. AJ Hack, thank you. Andy Omar, Street Patrol,
It's a
Beach
lot of
Prepper.
people.
Thank you so much. Thomas
Red
Bills was
Zone.
with us today. Yes, and Red Zone in the know as
Ruby
well.
was in here.
Travel
Sarah was in
Trends.
here. Bruce Davis was in here today. Hector, Colin Hector.
Hector Kubat.
Yeah, so this was another off live stream again. So just kind of going to the top here. A lot of people in here. Darren.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate. Oh yes, D-Man. Yes, thank you, D-Man. Yes, D-Man in the
D-Man
house.
in the house.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See you on the next live stream.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be safe. Behave.